This show is presented by Manscaped. Are you hairy? Stop that. Stop it now.
Well, their parents
go to
named them that.
manscaped.com/dangle to unhairy yourself.
That's unkind.
20% off your next purchase. How dare you?
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Canada's Sportsbook.
SDPN. The Steve Dangle Podcast. With your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
It's a big day on the network. Number one. And Steve announced this on his channel last night, but you should know you can now hear the LFR. And I mean, obviously, everybody watches the LFR, but everybody talks about the volume, the octave that Steve will get to when he's upset on his LFRs. And you know what? Sometimes when things are good, like last night with Nicky Bob. But I want to say that finally, and we've been meaning to do this for years.
No. The Rock is a Leaf fan now. You can't hit him with that.
Let's go Leafs.
Finally! There you go.
No, continue.
LFR has debuted, not come back, to Spotify.
That's right.
And Amazon Music and Apple Podcasts and soon to be Google Podcasts.
Yeah, Google whenever they want to get their act together.
Google whenever they want to get their act together.
So anyway, you just literally search LFR and Steve is there and you'll be able to listen.
Or go to sdpn.ca/Steve Dangle and you can click the links right there to your favorite podcast feed.
And you can watch it on Spotify too, right?
Yeah, Spotify has the video version as
That's
well.
so cool.
The audio and video version.
And you can watch the full video?
Yeah.
The first video podcast I ever watched on Spotify was mine. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know either.
Did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, they added it, I think, when they added Rogan.
And probably the
video.
Call Her Daddy show too, because that was big on video as well.
I believe you.
Okay.
I believe you.
Also, it's a big day on the network because we have somebody new joining us, and by the time that you hear this, you might have already seen the announcement. But Jesse, you want to take this one?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
why?
We were first introduced to him from the Jesse Blake Sports Report.
Right.
Yes, on the debut episode of the JBSR, I had on a fellow named S. Barahaney. He is a basketball writer, a basketball reporter, and I had him on a couple times. I think he was 3-time appearances, 2 times maybe. It doesn't really matter.
A lot.
And over the summer, we've gotten to know each other, and he's a great person, first of all. Second, he's a great NBA content creator. He does incredible videos on YouTube. He's done a little podcasting in the past. He's a great writer. And you know what? We were like, why don't we just take this great talent and bring them over to our network? So that's what we did.
Why not?
And S officially starts with us on Monday.
That's right. So S. Barahaney joining us, and he'll be joining us on Monday's show as well. And if you're saying, is he going to switch to hockey? No. No, he's not. He's actually, he is going...
Our Dallas Stars correspondent.
That's right. Yeah, no, Grav. It's not Grav. This is S. Barahaney.
You're right.
S is going to join us, and he will be the official title is lead NBA reporter. He will be doing everything from, reels to TikToks to obviously his Twitter account's an amazing thing, amazing follow. And of course, we will be launching a 2 to 3 week show on the NBA. It won't just be Raptors
2 to 3
focused.
times a week.
2 to 3. Yeah. Sorry. That's what I mean. 2 to 3 times.
That's not what you said.
I meant per week. Thank you, Steve.
It's going to be 2 to 3 weeks and that's it.
That's it. And then we're done. No, S is going to be, he's going to kind of be the guy that builds our NBA coverage. And as you see SDPN sort of grow, we want to be a network that you come to for really great, fun, but also really insightful, informative sports content that goes a little bit beyond. And one of the things that I loved about listening to S on Jesse's first episode, I literally called Jesse, was like, who is this guy? He just taught me so much in about 10 minutes, is that he takes a sport like basketball, which is extremely intricate, and dumbs it down for a passing fan like myself. I love basketball, but I don't have the time to get into basketball the way we get into hockey. And he made me understand some things about the way the Raptors were trying to play and what Scotty Barnes was going to bring. Remember, it was early on, it was still like halfway through the season.
Right.
And he's phenomenal. So we're so excited to have him. The show does not have a name just yet, or at least not one that we're willing to announce, and it will feature another person. So be on the lookout because we're not done with the NBA yet. And if you have another favorite sport, we're looking to add.
Yeah, this is our first full-time foray into something that's not hockey, and it's not going to be the beginning and end. So expect
It is going to be the
lot.
beginning.
It's only going to be 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, it's only going to be 2-3 weeks,
Then we're done.
and then that's it.
Yep.
2
So
to 3 weeks
expect it to end.
for the S. Haney Sports Report.
So that's what's happening. And obviously, we're very, very excited to have S on. And you'll get to meet him on Monday's show. He's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really smart, really funny, and just a genuinely good person.
I like him.
You do?
I do. I like him a lot. Texting him about basketball yesterday.
Yeah, you were. Can you explain this? I like this conversation. And Jesse had some thoughts to weigh in on this. And this goes for any team. Go ahead, because you're trying to buy tickets.
Well, SL, my wife, every year wants Raptors tickets. She loves the Raptors.
For her birthday.
Yes. But she is not like an all NBA person. And she really should become one because she likes reality television. And what's better than the NBA for that?
It's perfect.
What's better than that? Draymond Green is a person who exists. Like what's the whole Kevin Durant saga this summer? Like what's better than that? So there were 2 games that we could go to that we narrowed it down to. There was a game against the Denver Nuggets and there was a game against OKC. And I asked S, I go, which game should I go to? And he's like, well, you got to go see Jokic play. Like, you got to.
It's like going to see Crosby play. He was going to see McDavid play. Go see the star.
It's not even a question. But then I also said, my wife does not know who that is. And I confirmed this. She's like, I don't know who that is. So which one are they most likely to win? Because I would just like to try to get her to see a win.
And that's
and he's
fair.
like, oh, well, I mean, OKC's not as good and they got the hometown kid. So yeah, maybe go see them. But maybe I'll be greedy and I'll be like, oh yeah, Denver's crap this year. We should definitely get tickets to go see
I don't
them.
know, if a Leaf fan asked you that question, what would you tell them? Say it was
So
versus.
who are the teams?
Let's say
Edmonton.
Sure, the Edmonton Oilers or the Philadelphia Flyers.
No, Coyotes.
Oh, man.
No, the
more
Coyotes is
ass,
a
a little
different
more
beast.
ass. Oh, okay,
no,
fine.
no.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely no question. I'd tell him to see the Oilers.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a better. Is there a better ticket in the NHL?
Then the electric offense of the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah. No, I have to. You have to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If they're coming to town, you have to see them. There's no other option.
So you should take that and be like, I'm going to go see the 2-time MVP back to back.
Maybe I'm going to see Jokic.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think you should probably go see the better basketball.
This is great.
No offense to OKC, who could be like sneaky, but
I can consult with my friends and record it and then play it for my wife.
And then
Which
she
is
can
what
make the
I'm gonna
ultimate
do
call.
later.
What you do is you let her make the ultimate call. And that way, if the game's a dud, it's not your fault.
That's right. It's all hers.
And you can look at her throughout the game and go, you see what you did? You see?
Thanks. Happy friggin' birthday, honey. And she'd be like, don't call me honey.
When is her birthday, by the way?
It's in February, but we couldn't go.
Okay.
So we're looking into March.
Okay.
we had 2 more announcements for the network if you want to do those as well.
Go ahead.
Knoxy and Kax return today.
Knoxy Kax,
Hooray!
Out right now, when you're listening to this, you can go find the season 2 premiere of Knoxy and Kax. That is Liz Knox and Karel Amard. They return season 2. It's talking about things that happened over the summer, the Secret Dream Gap tour that's ongoing. They kicked off the tour and they're still going. So yeah, go listen to that. It's a very good episode.
Hooray!
There's one little part where Karel's she's telling Liz about the assault bike. You know, the assault bike is the one with where you have your 2 hands and you're like running on the bike while also pedaling.
Yes.
And she's telling her how she's trying to give her a tip. She's like, okay, so about 30 pushes is roughly 10 calories. One, fuck that. That's it. Like, it's crazy. But Karel uses that as motivation on the bike. So she'll be like, okay, only 30 more and I got 10 done. And then she was like, that's how I push myself. Like I keep going because I'm like, okay, I only need to do 30 more pushes and then that's another 10 calories. And she counts that in her head while she's going. And Liz is like, I have little T-Rex arms. I don't know if that's the same for me.
It's no, like levers. I don't know. Let's try to figure this out.
And I died during that part. So it's very, very good episode.
I really like them, and I, like you, were like, where the hell are they?
Yeah.
And they're back.
They're back.
Yeah.
They are back.
So
that is wonderful.
It's exciting, you know. And I'm looking right now. As of right now, it has not premiered as of this recording, and there's already 10 comments on it.
Oh, really?
People are just like, let's
people
go. Yeah, people are jacked to have them back. It's amazing.
Yeah, in about 15 minutes, the episode's going to be out. So
okay,
it's very, very cool.
And then the other thing, last night I came back on Twitch. That on-demand video will be up on YouTube while you're listening to this. It'll be before this podcast comes out. A lot of fun.
You win a cup yet?
Where did you start? What happened? Tell us
the chat told me to tell you this part. So I made everybody vote on how we were gonna do season 1 of our franchise mode, because I have 5 years to win the Stanley Cup with the Arizona Coyotes. But you can go in 2 different directions. I can sell everything and try and win it by year 1. Like I try and go for it year 1 and year 2 and year 3 and year 4.
Right.
Or we tank for Bedard and we rebuild through year 1, and then technically I only got 4 shots at the cup because I only rebuild it. I rebuild it in year 1.
Okay.
What would you do?
I would sell off every draft pick and go for it.
Adam, what would you do?
It's more fun, I think.
I think.
In real life, I would never do that.
Right. But
this isn't real life, right?
No.
It is.
I think I like the idea of you risking it and going for Bedard and then rebuilding. So what you need to do, and this is
focal point,
is compile a bunch of draft picks and then fire them at all the best teams for all the best players as soon as you draft Bedard.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to get Bedard, because what happens if you go for Bedard and you don't get Bedard?
So at the beginning of the episode, I let the chat vote for which direction we're going to go. They voted for tank for Bedard.
Yeah!
Talk hard for Bedard.
So in season 1, we tank for Bedard. Should I spoil it? Should I tell you how it went?
No, make us watch.
Okay. So next time I do an episode, we'll come back and I'll fill you in on that after people get a chance to watch it. But we tank for Bedard in season 1, and we go all the way to the draft lottery. So we know if we got him or not. And then next episode's the draft.
Lots to get through. Obviously, on today's show, we're going to talk about the Canucks losing another game. Jesse's Rangers have some answering to do. And of course, Nick Robertson, Nicky Bobby, with a big night. But first, let's get to You Can Bet That with Dave Bastel.
Sports Interaction, Canada's Sportsbook, presents You Can Bet That with David Bastel. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Ontario only.
Okay, Dave. So we got to start with this, and then we want to get to a bet that Jesse loves. First off, this is one that came out of Game Over Montreal. This is Jay Baruchel, who was on with Andrew, and he proposed what, Dave?
He went out and said Cole Caulfield will score more than Austin Matthews, and he wants to see the bet. So, we accommodated. Right now he's looking good, but it's also October the 21st today or something.
That's right.
So we do have that bet at Sports Interaction under our props section. Who will score more goals, essentially? Is Caulfield going to outscore Matthews, or is he not going to? Right now, if you are betting Caulfield to score more, you're getting about 6 times your money. Pretty good value considering he's leading 4-1. I'm just saying.
I just take that.
I mean, Matthews he's played well, but he's had a bit of a slow scoring start.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
injuries are always a thing.
People hit him with pucks too. He doesn't look 100% healthy out there. I'm just saying.
Well, if Jamie Benn's going to attach a hockey stick to in the middle of his back, it's going to be a problem for him.
That is a very interesting pick.
Isn't it?
And the Leafs have not done well against underdog picks this week. That's a tough one, though. I don't know. He scored 60. I don't know.
Jesse, what was the other thing you wanted to talk about?
There's this thing on Sports Interaction called Grand Salami Bets.
Yes.
And last night I took one where I bet the total amount of goals for all of the away teams playing last night versus the total amount of goals that the home teams got. So I got the total goals by all the away teams versus the total goals by all of the home teams. That's the bet that they have the option to make.
Basically,
I lost
away
it.
teams beat the home team.
Yeah, versus so goals
Total
versus
goals,
goals.
yes.
Total goals versus total goals.
Yeah.
So you're essentially playing all the teams versus all the teams. It's a lot of fun. But last night I lost the bet because the home teams went out. There's a couple 6-3 victories and a 7-1 victory. So like it's a really fun bet, and you have these grand salamis every couple nights or something, right?
Well, it's essentially every single NHL scheduled night that has more than one game. So, and there's further to it. Yeah, you could bet all the home teams, you could bet all the away games, or you could do total amount of goals scored by every team on the schedule. So if there's 10 games, there's 20 teams. Are they going to exceed this amount of goals? It is a lot of fun because you're sitting there at the end of the night going, okay, West Coast games, I need 17 goals between these two teams. You know what I mean? It is. I have a lot of friends that play that religiously, especially on a Saturday night where you have a slew of games. You know, you usually have at least 10 games. And yeah, add them up and do some quick maths. And yeah, that's I'm glad you jumped on that because it is a lot of fun. Grand Salami, it's called.
Yeah, I was sitting there really upset because I was looking at all the scores, and Pittsburgh won 6-1 over the Kings, and Pittsburgh was the home team. I was like, now I'm down 5 goals. You know, so
Exactly.
it was an adventure watching hockey last night.
And one thing I do want to say is last night, if you took, we Sports Interaction was awesome enough to set up the prop bet for the Canucks. The oops, there it is prop, which was would the Canucks blow a multi-goal lead for the 5th straight game?
Multi-goal.
They did blow a lead, but it was not multi-goal.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. The Canucks have it in them too. You know what I mean?
they
can
do.
Yeah.
They do.
Like that's you talk about the worst case scenario. They blow a lead, they lose, and you don't win. Like, God,
That's exactly it.
awful.
Yeah, it is. It
David,
is.
thank you so much. As always, go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN, and we will see you Monday, sir.
Yeah, enjoy Saturday night.
Hey,
Listen, if you're hairy, knock it off.
what'd you point at me?
Knock it off. Let me show you something. Manscaped sent us a tickle trunk.
What? I don't.
What did that all
Let's
like
talk about
that?
the weed whacker. Do you have my single shot
there you
here?
go.
The weed whacker. This is for your nose and your ears. As you get older, like myself, sometimes you get nose hairs that curl up outside it, and you get your ears and whatever. And I don't know if you've ever used a nose hair trimmer before. I have. The problem with them is they heat up and they singe the edge of your nose, and this one does not. It's amazing. Let me tell you about it. The skin-safe replaceable head prevents nicks, snags, tugs, and cutting to the head is replaceable, so you can actually replace it. High performance motor on it, 9,000 RPM
Wow,
to cut your nose hair.
that's so many.
It's cordless, it's rechargeable, so you can move it anywhere. You can bring it on trips with you. There's a smart design. It kind of fits your hand perfectly and completely waterproof. What do you do, guys? If you want to go to Manscaped, what do you do?
You turn on your computer.
You go to
Make sure it's hooked up to
manscaped.com/dangle. He can never remember it. And receive 20% off your next purchase. That's manscaped.com/dangle. 20% off your next purchase. What?
And free shipping.
Oh, yeah, that too. Guys, I had somebody on Twitter tell me the other day that spicy cereal joke that you guys make at my expense is no longer funny.
Oh, really?
So when we talk about Magic Spoon,
The funny police tweeted you.
the funny police got back to me and they said, listen,
How
I'm
much
tired.
was the ticket?
It was a hotly suggestive tweet. Okay. And they were like, excuse me, find a new bit for Magic Spoon. So you know what I thought I'd do?
I'm the funny police.
Let me slide this under your windshield wiper.
I'm going to just give you the facts about Magic Spoon, okay? It's good for you. Magic Spoon has replicated your favorite childhood cereals to taste good and be good for you. Each serving contains 0 grams of sugar and over 13 grams of protein and less than 5 grams of carbs. Like I said, it's healthy. Again, low carb, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free. Relive those childhood moments watching your favorite cartoons on a Saturday morning. Plus, it's only 140 calories per serving. It's like there's magic in every spoonful. But not funny in every spoonful. I wouldn't want to go there.
Also, new flavors: jalapeno, cayenne, California Reaper.
Not necessarily, but they do have cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry muffin, maple waffle, and others. So go to magicspoon.com magicspoon.com/SDP to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try Magic for yourself. And be sure to use that promo code SDP at checkout to save $5 off your order. Again, Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. If you don't like our jokes, there's nothing you can do about it. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/SDP and use that promo code. It's SDP. Save $5 off. Ha ha. Well, I have a question, gentlemen.
Yes.
Do you feel like a couple of idiots?
For what?
I'm just asking, do you feel like a couple of idiots?
You need to specify, because all the time the answer is yes.
Okay.
I'm not a very smart person.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you who's listening and watching. Should they feel like a couple of idiots?
Hey, you have your headphones on. Oh, did you hear that? I don't know.
What is that? What could that be?
That's the Malgan Hive. Don't you dare kick it over, because the Malgan Hive is going to get you.
Sorry, Malgan Hive. You're going to be stuck in the beekeeper spot. What do they call those? The hive.
No,
The hive.
that
You're
was
stuck in the
bad.
actual hive.
Oh, no.
You're going to be beekeeper spot. Where the beekeepers are.
The beehive?
Well, you're off the hook, back shins.
All right.
Beekeeper spot is the new best Adam Wildism ever.
All I want to know is if you feel like an idiot, because I can tell you I do. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Robertson with 2 goals against his brother.
Wow.
With his mom in attendance.
Yeah.
Guys,
Love it.
is Nick Robertson going to make the Toronto Maple Leafs, Steve and Jesse?
Out of camp? No. And we were right.
Yeah, we were literally right.
So if you're asking me to feel bad,
Your takes
does
are
not
cold.
compute. Yeah.
Cold over here.
You know what? Here's what I didn't love with everything to do with Nick Robertson. He did everything he was supposed to in the preseason. He still aesthetically looked a little off, as we talked about. He scored goals that didn't make sense. I'm like, you're not supposed to be able to generate power and accuracy from the position that you're in. Like he's off balance. It just looked strange. But he scored, damn it. He scored.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on the team. But for purely cap and waiver purposes, he didn't make the team. Then there's an injury. Guess what? Yo, he's back up. And what I've hated about Nick Robertson's development is how stop and start it's been and how staggered it's been. And I remember Kyle Dubas, when he was the AGM, talking about not loving the yo-yo treatment that they gave Stuart Percy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
And he was up and down, and people talk about him as a draft bust. Well, I mean, they didn't put him in a position to succeed. But here's Nick Robertson, who's had the stop and start. He's only 21, and people are talking about him like he's been in the organization for 6 years. Oh, shit, or get off the pot, Nicky. You gonna make the team or what? And he beat the odds last night. He did. I don't know if, being on a line with William Nylander and John Tavares is beating the odds. I mean, it's not like they shoved him on the 4th line or anything. But this team, reeling after a bad loss, there are fires and smoke everywhere in the city, calls upon their youngest player, after all the up and down, has a great preseason. Guess what? Here's your reward, a bus ride to the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Comes back up 2 goals in a game against his brother, which does matter because it's something that we know he's wanted and narrowly missed
The last time.
a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did play each other one other time, but I don't think he scored.
Did they?
I believe this is the second time they played
in
each other.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe.
Oh.
I think so.
See,
I don't know.
The other thing is I
misremember.
choose to believe that was his first NHL game last night.
I know you do, because you feel like
It's
his
better.
development should start from here because of how rocky it's been over the last 3 years.
This is, I hope, the start of the rest of Nick Robertson's career.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
more American Hockey League, I hope. I mean, listen, 2 goals isn't going to be enough. Like, you got to keep bringing it.
And one of the goals was in funny time, where it's not real hockey.
Yeah, but after a unreal play.
Still even strength, Jesse. He stopped He stopped the guy on defense and then was able to turn it around, set up the play, and score the goal. He did everything on that play.
Looks so fucking good on Jamie Benn.
Yeah.
Looks so good on him.
Yeah, we need to talk about Jamie Benn today.
It was just a dirty piece of shit play. Like, I'm not calling for him to be suspended or anything.
No.
But it's a dirty chicken shit play that he did to Austin Matthews in the first period. And you just put that in your little brain bank, and you know, by the end of the game, you might have even forgotten about it because you were mad about the goalie interference goal that was overturned and ended up being a goal for
Somebody
Dallas.
should have fought him. Somebody should have fought Jamie Benn last.
Well, somebody should have fought him and taken a beating.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Fucking get your ass beat for Austin Matthews. Like, he was getting all game long. They had a highlight reel of him getting bullied by different Dallas stars. It wasn't fun.
He got his ass beat and then set up the game winner. So there's another guy sort of overcoming the odds, overcoming the shit sandwich he was being fed for the rest of the game. But Jamie Benn has a 2-on-1. I don't even remember who the other guy was. Heiskanen?
I don't remember.
He has a 2-on-1.
It doesn't
in
matter
overtime,
what his name is.
and it doesn't matter. And like, I'm not trying to belittle Nick Robertson, but that has to be worst case scenario, right?
yeah.
Who-
Yeah.
Who
For
is the
Leafs.
last person on the roster you would want to be in that position?
Oh.
So you're going to start with a forward. You're probably going to go winger. So we have it narrowed down to 8 guys now. And I don't know, youngest guy on the team in his first game of the season, I think is a pretty good
Is he
place
the
to start.
smallest Leaf in terms of height?
Smallest forward, I think the other guy is Dennis Mulligan, and he wasn't playing.
Right.
So, yeah.
He was too busy in the Beekeeper place.
He was
Hey, shut up. You guys don't know.
Beekeeper spot.
Beekeeper spot.
And he has so many options. And he attacks Robertson knowing that it's a bad case scenario for him and beats him.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to get body position on him though. He went too far. He had him beat and he wanted to show off in Toronto. I don't know what it was, but he didn't have to make that other move. He had a 2-on-1 one-timer right there.
And it was clean. The guy was open.
And Nick Robertson turned it around and said, here's how you fucking do it. 2-on-1, it was a 3-on-1, one-timer, left-handed shot. You had it there at the other end of the ice there, Jamie. Fucking looks good on you. The whole fan base was thinking that. Listen, I always talk about the magic of hockey. And I think, you know, after the last game against the Coyotes, I get called a grumpy Gus and everything. Listen, losing to the Coyotes, the way they lost to the Coyotes, stinks.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a regular loss. It wasn't even a regular loss to the Coyotes. But that win against Dallas, that wasn't a regular win.
Why not?
It had a beginning, middle, and end. Villains were vanquished and heroes rose. It's storytelling. It's beauty. It's everything I love about hockey and everything I love about sports. The kid overcomes the guy who hurt the team's best player in the first period,
Also
scores the second goal of the game, and after the game, he gives a charming interview, and he sees his mom, and he's grinning from ear to ear, and he didn't even hear Sean McKenzie's question. Did you see that? That was
Yeah.
yeah. What was your question? Loved it. It's. I woke up this morning with a shit-eating grin, and I watched the highlights 10 times.
Okay, so the other thing is
best morning.
Nick Robertson also got crushed several times last night,
Yeah.
right? Especially right after what he could have had the third goal for the Leafs in regulation, and he was going that shift, but he got caught a couple times directly after that.
He on his own terms.
Yeah, he was throwing his body around.
Yeah, no, it's not like I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm just saying like I wasn't like he only had his head down or whatever. But they're clearly looking at him as like a threat because. Like, if you're, no offense to Philip Kral, I'm going to use your name. If they brought him up, I don't think Dallas Stars forwards are like, we must target him.
Right.
Even a guy like Wayne
He's also a
Simmons.
defenseman.
Yeah, I know. But like, I'm just talking about like guys that are
Sometimes he was active last night.
sometimes like even like a Wayne Simmons who is a forward. They're not targeting Wayne Simmons because Wayne Simmons isn't really a threat anymore. It doesn't mean that we don't love Wayne, but he's just not the threat. Robertson's a threat. That's why they want to do that.
Wayne gets a lot of space.
I want to talk about Jamie Benn because obviously the cross check on Matthews, I think you said it perfectly. It's chicken shit, but it's the kind of stuff where if Jamie Benn is your guy and you're a Dallas Stars fan, you're like, fucking right, let's go. Yeah. And what I noticed with Jamie Benn is if he's not scoring, he's at least making it painful to play him. It's always there's a hit, but then there's like a little jab, a little this, a little that, and maybe not on the trolling Brad Marchand kind of level, but he hits and it feels like it hurts.
Brutalizing. No, he's of the ilk where I think of Shane Doan. I think of Dustin Brown, just players who, if you cheer for a team in that division, you hate his guts. And you're justified. It's not just that he's good. He is good. Jamie Benn won the Art friggin' Ross. Remember that? Mm-hmm. In like the lowest scoring season ever. But he won the Art Ross, gosh darn it. But that guy will break your bones. And I mean, it really pays to be a personal buddy of George Parros. It super does.
Oh, stop
because stop what? Last year in the playoffs, he got a fine. The next game, he did something bad again, and he got a fine.
History,
high sticking, and he's going to get. He might get a fine for the Matthews thing.
No.
He might.
There's nothing really illegal.
I don't think so.
It.
I don't think he
yes, there fucking was. It's a cross check.
Not in terms of like the games of hockey when everybody's out there just playing.
Everyone's just out there playing. I love your hockey guy impression. Everyone's just out there playing full 60.
Nick Robertson had a fantastic night.
He did,
night.
yeah. Let's not focus on that.
And like, I hope he keeps it up. Like, I hope now they've solved the top six. That would be incredible.
Yeah,
for the
easily
league.
the most fluid he's looked.
Yeah,
and he had a goal set up by Michael Bunting, and he had a goal set up by Austin Matthews. Him and Matthews found themselves out there together twice in that overtime, which I thought was very interesting. Because, and the reason I say that, I don't think that top line is working. I think individually they're all having moments.
Oh,
but at 5-on-5 together, it's not working.
Because you mentioned something that I thought was fascinating and an astute observation about Mitch Marner.
He's having a miserable time right now. And Mitch Marner off his game is still good.
It was an assessment that you had, I think it was late last season, mid last season about Mitch, where he's not playing.
I can't remember.
It was at some point last year. I think it was the later half of the year where he's not playing as fun as he should be. You know, because that's when he's playing his best, is when he's out there having fun.
And he was looking at the refs after every whistle.
Yeah.
And he was doing a lot of moaning and complaining, and his body language was terrible.
And we shouldn't be able to notice on television that every single time play stops, Mitch is looking at the ref.
I can relate to him as a guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve, but again, Game 6, Montreal, everyone made the same observation no matter who you cheer for. Holy fuck, this guy looks rattled. Mm-hmm. And last night, he had a good play shorthanded where he drew a penalty on Jason Robertson, negated the power play. But
it's enough that Elliot Friedman mentioned it in the second intermission.
Yep. Did he?
If it gets to Friedge level, I think finally you could take us seriously. I think a lot of people, I think sometimes with Mitch, people are very protective, and I get it because he's such a lovable guy.
I'm not saying he sucks.
No, hold on. No one's saying that. Let me just continue. Let me just continue for a second.
Let me pre-argue.
When a criticism is leveled at Mitch Marner or Austin Matthews, it's not because we don't like the person. It's because we want them to succeed, and that wasn't good enough. And that's easy for us because we're sitting in my basement and they're playing hockey. Mm-hmm. But, that's their job and this is our job. So we're doing it. And I look at the Mitch Marner situation. What Friedge said essentially is, and this goes back to the comments we were talking about with the elite players. I mentioned this in the last episode, and it blew up afterwards. Sheldon and Keefe said our elite players were not... The difference between the Coyotes and us is we have elite players, and they don't. And ours didn't play like elite players. And then the next day, Sheldon takes it back and goes, we had to have a conversation, and I need to clarify what I said. And then Mitch was like, yeah, we needed to have that conversation, clarify what he said. And people are like, but he was right. You guys didn't play like elite players. If you had, you would have easily won, like what happened in Montreal last night.
I don't know what conversation you're talking about. Winning solves all.
And then the next day, and people are like, this is not a thing. Shut up. It's not a thing. Here's how a thing it is. Okay? Here's how much of a thing it is. On Wednesday, Sheldon Keefe comes back. Sorry, yesterday was Thursday. On Thursday morning, Sheldon Keefe comes back and goes, no, it's not a thing again. You media people are making it a thing.
No, and some of them were.
If you...
What?
What are they not supposed to ask? Listen, man, if you...
I think that's a lovely...
I'm
think
sorry,
it's your job to
it's
report
your
on
job.
these things.
Listen, if it's not a thing, say, you know what, guys, I'm moving on. That's what you say. But the coach felt the need yet again to say, oh, it's a media creation. It's not a media creation. Did the media create Sheldon Keefe's initial quote? No. Did the media make Mitch Marner and whoever else on the team, and I don't want to just put Mitch on that because he's a leader and obviously other players went to, did the media make those players then go to Sheldon Keefe and make him clarify? And did they make Sheldon Keefe come back to the media and say, let me clarify? And then did they make Sheldon Keefe also answer a question on Thursday? No, they did not. It is a thing. And
Can I play his comments, the most recent ones?
I don't know. It's a press conference.
It's a
We can
press
do it.
conference. Let's just, because he is being continued. I understand from Steve's perspective in that he's being asked about it, so he has to answer it.
Or he could just say, give a non-answer. But anyway, keep going.
All right, let's play this. This is Sheldon Keefe.
Are we really at the point where there's such delicate flowers that you have to watch the words that you use?
Who the fuck is that?
Is that Rosie?
I mean, I think I think it's a passionate sport. There's a lot of emotion in it. I don't think we're at that point. I think we should always be cognizant of the words we're using and how we're communicating. At times, emotions maybe gets the best of us in this game or in any competitive environment. You want to communicate well. So it's an important piece as a leader. So you want to be cognizant of every word and you use and body language and all those kind of things. But the nature of the sport, sometimes it doesn't make it so, and sometimes a little extra passion behind your message is really what you're looking for there. So I think that's for me as a leader, or any leader, you got to find that balance.
The fact you had to pull back a little bit from your commentary yesterday, more of a product today's athlete than it is of what you had to say?
It's probably more a reflection of coaching the Toronto Maple Leafs and dealing with you all than anything, just to make sure that the way that I'm communicating is more clear, because the reaction to the comments was not what I was trying to communicate. So it's more so about managing the media than it is about managing the players.
Now,
that last comment I get
100%. But here's what you do. First off, I don't know who asked that first question, but it's a chicken shit bullshit question. Because you're the implication on that, are they such delicate flowers?
Yeah.
When you do something like that, the idea is to trap the coach into inadvertently saying that his players are delicate flowers, which he's never going to do.
He handled it extremely well.
He did. And what he should have, if I was going to give him any notes, I would double down on what I was trying to say earlier, which is if it's not a thing, don't answer the question. Just say, you know what? We're moving on. That's not a thing we're even going to talk about.
So the reason, by the way, we mentioned Mitch Marner and how the top line isn't clicking. I wanted to piggyback on how well Nick Robertson is playing, because if he plays, listen, right now the Leafs don't have options. So who was up there? Mulligan. So you want to switch things up? What do? You switch Bunting and Mulligan? So you have Matthews, Marner, Mulligan? Fart. Yeah. No. If Robertson starts clicking, but there's still, there's just, the top six isn't quite working. You can keep Robertson, Tavares, Nylander, and Bunting, Matthews, Marner, but every now and then, out of your bag of tricks, you put Bunting with Tavares and you could put Bunting with Tavares and Marner, or you could put Bunting with Tavares and Nylander. Tavares has worked.
He's been great.
He's been great, but he's worked well historically over his career with players like Michael Bunting. He has made players like Michael Bunting a lot of money because he finds ways to get them the puck and they find ways to get him the puck. And then you can have Robertson with Matthews, which we already know works, and Marner, one of the best playmakers in the league. You give him two pure snipers. Yeah, It's a good position.
And that's the on ice perspective. And I think it's been taken to another level off ice where we have somebody like Steve Simmons poking at him every time he's at the podium.
And that's what they're going to do. I mean, I'm sure Keefe's used to Steve Simmons questionings. And if that was Rosie DiMano, whoever that was.
Yeah, with her, that's a bullshit.
It's a bullshit question. But I think the point is, it's still a thing. Even though those people ask bullshit questions in those, it doesn't make it not a thing. Just because the reporter you hate asked the question doesn't mean that it's not a thing. I think there is a thing here. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, the thing is very simple. They had a disagreement. Mitch Marner, as Elliot brought up,
what it was.
It was the comment. Yeah, it was the comment.
We know that Mitch Marner went into Keefe's office after Keefe made the comments after the Arizona game, and they had a conversation about the elite players quote. We know that happened.
And so what Elliot was saying, and I think this is right. This isn't it's not like the end of the world, right? This is not like, oh my God, it's a weekly event. And I think what was really key, CJ said this to me yesterday when I was texting him about it, and I'm bringing this up. There's nothing crazy about what I'm about to tell you. He said they need to win tonight and this all goes away.
Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole in the face and it's been dropped.
Exactly.
As a story.
They need to win tonight. But what Friedge did say before the Leafs won last night was they are, as in Leafs management, constantly sort of checking on Marner because he is so hard on himself and he has such high expectations of themselves. That's how you get to this level. And he wants to win so bad that sometimes it eats him up.
Yeah, he wasn't having fun last night. You could tell.
No, but you know what? He'll get there. And I
think he will too.
And I don't think that this is like, oh man, Mitch Marner and Sheldon Keefe hate each other. No, this is just. Is there a little bit of drama here? Sure, but is it going to end the Leafs season in their second week? No,
I think it's good.
It's okay to say that there's some drama.
Well, and it's healthy for them. I said it last episode. The Leaf season turned around last year when Matthews and Hall had a screaming match on the bench.
Yeah, it's really good.
And they're still friends.
Of course.
Matthews has the respect of the locker room, and Justin Hall is
beloved.
Like, he's a really funny guy, and they really like him. I do. Goodness, come on. Got that Friday phlegm. Yuck. On the note of that question, it's not the greatest question, and someone who is maybe a beat reporter for the team who's there every single day wouldn't dare ask it. I see it as a legitimate question, not because I think it's good.
Which question?
Because I don't.
Are they such delicate flowers?
Okay. I see it as a legitimate question, not because it's necessarily a good question, but in the 72 hours that followed the Coyotes loss, my mentions were full of that shit. Full of that
so
shit.
There's a part of the audience that wants to know. You don't need to.
It's a large part.
But when you ask it that way, you're doing it to get under somebody's skin rather than the goal, which is just to get an answer.
Right. And you're
trying to draw an emotional response rather than a rational one.
It's fair to assume that's Rosie, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
It is a female voice. That's all we know.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to do that.
Whoever that is, I think they're also appealing to their base, which is the people in your mentions who is a large part of the Leafs audience.
I wouldn't call it capital J journalism, but if a huge portion of the audience has that same question on their mind, I do think it's somewhat legitimate to ask it. I just maybe would have worded it a little different.
Yeah. Not great.
It's not great.
I'm
I'm just trying to look at it from both perspectives, and I mean,
I think
I wouldn't have done it, but I've asked some pretty dumb questions.
And here's the thing. Here's what prevent. Listen, the Coyotes loss, and this is something that we do in North American sports that always blows my mind too. Is it's just one loss, man. Hardcore sports fans across the world live and die by every game. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with living and dying by every game if you're a fan, okay? Don't let anyone tell you that it's okay. Like, I'm never going to be happy to see the Leafs lose. Don't tell me that it's okay, that I have to be okay with it, especially when they lose like they did to the Coyotes. However, what I saw last night was a fart first period and 2 really strong periods and half a period afterwards for overtime.
They dominated the back 40.
Absolutely.
Back
and so they came in, they had to get their adjustments, and sometimes your first 20 sucks because you're figuring out the other team. They played like the Leafs. This is the team that I believe should win the President's Trophy this year. I really, truly do. That's the team that I want to see.
And that decor does not look the way that we thought it was going to in the summer.
No.
At all.
Well, we are sneaking up on that Muzzin conversation.
Well, I think it's a conversation between him and his doctor.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen the play.
Mhm.
Somehow I hadn't seen it until last night's broadcast. That was scary as fuck.
Well, it was scary, but also, I think if you're truly fully healthy, if that's a first time, and I hate saying it this way, it may not go down the same way.
It wasn't a first time.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Is that when
a lot of people forget the Columbus thing.
Once you're injured like that, you're more prone to be injured like that.
Yeah, people
And
forget
that's-
the stinger he had against Columbus.
That's what I'm talking about, right? And that's where it gets scary. Like Andre Kasha, what was happening to him, and he's now out again with a concussion. I don't even think he made it to the regular season. And you're robbed of this person and their talent because, but the more you have, and we're suspecting at this point, the more that you have, the worse it can be, and the more prone you are. And I think the Leafs are, if there's anything that the Leafs are, it's that they love their guys and they're almost too loyal to their guys. There are times when I wish Kyle Dubas was a little more cutthroat. And with Jake Muzzin this summer, they made a choice to keep him and the big salary that he carries, rather than saying, you know what, we probably could reallocate that money elsewhere. And you say, how, where, why? Well, that's his job to figure out. I think that they knew that this was a possibility. The idea of getting Jake Muzzin, if I told you guys, I think Jake Muzzin is going to get 82 games this year, you guys would say, you're nuts, you're out of your mind.
I'd be happy with 70.
And this is, now we're on long-term injury reserve.
Yeah, I don't think he's reaching 70. Like,
Not officially
ever in his career.
Not officially long-term
it's injury reserve, excuse me.
But that's from everything Friedge said, from everything Dreger said, it's not looking good.
And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
And so this is where it's like, okay, well, now what do the Leafs do? I guess they call up a bunch of people.
Mete had a good game.
Yes, he did. He was playing great.
I like Mete. Yeah,
yeah,
he was
nice.
good. Sandin stepped it up.
Mhm.
Physical presence. You know who's been fantastic this season? TJ Brody. Every single fucking game.
TJ Brody's always good. Nobody ever talks
No
about
one
him.
complains about him.
He had some downs last year, but no, he's been
Oh,
all
he's
5 games. He's
solid,
been great.
solid D man.
Solid D man.
Yeah.
Solid. I loved his reaction to drawing that roughing call on Marchment. Marchment was pissed, and he was just on the bench like, "LOL, I got punched in the face."
If you bet on Mason Marchment anytime point, you cashed that bet last night.
Oh,
He got an assist.
Did you get that?
It was almost 2-1. It was like 1.990. So like you bet $1, you win like 90 cents back. But so yeah, it was pretty good odds on that, and it hit because it was ex-Leaf. You know, it's gonna hit every time.
And Scott Wedgwood, 40 saves.
Oh yeah,
There were still some things about that game that were written in the stars. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that.
You know, you'd say, Jake Ottinger's not playing, the Otter's not out there in the water, and we're going to get the backup, and then he stands on his head.
No, that's the kiss of death. I'd rather play the starter.
Right. After the first period, the narrative for that Leafs game was not good.
No, it
Because
wasn't.
was coming off the Arizona effort, and then that first period was a lot of more of that, and then thank God they won it.
Yeah, it was
'Cause
good.
It was going to be
played
really
well.
bad.
They play well.
Like, you rarely hear NHL broadcasts talk that negatively about a team and rip their effort, and that's what happened in intermission. And I'm just happy that the Leafs won that, and it wasn't more of that coming out of the game.
Isn't the conversation this morning so much better? Nick
Definitely.
Robertson and everyone's smiling, and what a way to listen. I've been pointing out this fucking 5-game road trip for 2 months, and now they get to go on this road trip with a winning record, 3-2. Fair enough. Riding high. It's nice.
We can't just gloss over that Monday didn't happen now that they won, though.
I agree.
You know?
But there is an element of like, okay, you
Because then what was all the yelling for on Monday?
Because you tuck it in a folder. You can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to still be mad about Monday.
No.
Because Thursday happened. But if they have a Monday-like effort on Saturday, it becomes relevant again. If they put
That's a good way
together,
to put it.
if they put together consistent efforts, it's a shitty game we all forget about. Think about what was it, 7-1 or something? They lost to Pittsburgh in it was
And
the
then-
5th or 6th game last year. We forgot about it because then they wrecked shop in November. It became irrelevant. If I start screaming about that Pittsburgh game in the middle of February, it'd be a little strange.
So
last episode, when we talked about that exact game, I said after that game, they went 15-2.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
If the Leafs go 15-2 in their next 17, everything's good again, just like it was last year.
And they've played nothing but close games.
Yep.
All 5 games close.
All right, let's way to move quickly. I just want to say I think we're going to start to find a need to frame or keep track of memorable Ilya Samsonov quotes before we switch games here.
I love him.
This is from Mikey Stevens. We've got some smile to get tomorrow before the road trip. I love that.
Yeah.
And his other one is, quote, I live day by day. Tomorrow I go to practice, have some smile, and then go on road trip.
Have some smile. I think that should be the name of the show.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to the Vancouver Canucks, who lost another game while holding a lead. In every single game they've played this year, they have held the lead. Every single game up to this point, and we mentioned it, you can bet that, was a multi-goal lead. They only blew a 1-goal lead this time, but they lose to the winless Minnesota Wild.
It was in overtime, right?
Yes.
The Wild, who had not held a lead in the entire regular season so far.
Kirill Kaprizov, OT Dub.
I got a question.
Let's go.
Is Bruce Boudreau really going to get fired for this team who were bad last year, who are bad again? Everybody's talking about Bruce here. I keep saying this is the same roster they started with. This is Jim and Travis's team. This is not Jim Rutherford. I'm talking about who's the other guy? Who was the previous GM?
Jim Benning?
Jim Benning. This is Benning and Travis Green's team. This is not Jim Rutherford and Bruce Boudreau's team.
The vibes are off.
Well, they were immaculate in the start. Everybody was like, Vancouver, they're going to be great.
It's when I talk about magic, I'm often talking about vibes. You know where the vibes are immaculate right now?
Where?
Montreal.
Well, we're going to get to that. Let's talk about Vancouver.
Immaculate. No, but I'm using it to connect it to, I'm not always this Mad Hatter.
Oh my God.
Happy unbirthday to you. Sometimes I have a fucking point, boys. Sometimes I know what I'm doing, and I promise I'll follow the breadcrumbs home.
Keep going, buddy.
Anyway, the vibes are miserable right now, and maybe all the Canucks needed last year was a vibe change. Maybe Boudreau didn't change that much. We laughed about how little he did change. He went to Brock Besser and he said, hey, how about you shoot? And then Brock Besser shot. And you know what he did? He scored. Now, they do have injuries. Everyone has injuries. I do have sympathy for that, but everyone has to deal with it, man.
It's not, again, it goes back to what the Leafs were talking about. It's not that you lose, it's how you lose.
Boudreau came in and he elevated the vibes, and they rode that for the whole rest of the season. Pressure was off. Just win games. That's all. And the JT Miller saga gets solved. So you think, all right, we're not going to worry about this for all this season. Got a great starting goalie. We made a couple adds. We're going to be fine. Elias Pettersson playing this well usually does not equal the team playing this bad. I don't know how you get the vibes back.
It's tough.
Here.
It's tough.
Dude, was it 0-4-1?
Yeah, winless. They're the NHL's only winless team.
They're 3 regulation losses from 0-7 and fun, which was the 0-9-10 Leafs, who finished second last, by the way.
And they were lucky.
Never recovered from that.
They were lucky to finish.
They were lucky to finish second last.
Yeah.
They were literally lucky to finish second last because they gave up their first round pick, and that's why the Bruins got Tyler Seguin. You're welcome. And Oilers got Taylor Hall out of that because they finished last. A team that was, honest to goodness, trying to finish last. The Canucks are very, very rapidly approaching must-win territory. Like, their next game is must-win.
Yes.
I don't think it's overdramatic to say if the Canucks are 0-5-1 after game 6, you got to do something. I'm not saying fire Boudreau. I really don't know what that changes.
No.
You got to do something, for God's sake.
No, you can't fire Boudreaux.
They
though.
started the year on a 5-game road trip. Like we don't emphasize that enough. They've been on the road this whole time. They come back home now this Saturday. They play Buffalo. It's their home opener.
Buffalo's a wagon right now.
Buffalo's on fire. They swept Alberta. Rasmus Dahlin.
4 goals in 4 games.
Fun fact, he's the best defenseman in the NHL right now. How many defensemen have started a year with 4 goals in 4 games?
0 ever.
0 ever.
He's
the greatest defenseman of all time. Put some respect on Rasmus Dahlin's name.
2 weeks into the season, there's your Norris front runner.
Like literally.
There he is.
No one has ever done that as a defenseman, besides the point. So they're playing Buffalo, their home opener on Saturday. That's the beginning of 6 of 7 of their next games at home. So there's a path here. They're all sitting in Vancouver. You got a bunch of home games. There's a path here where you make back all of those lost points on that road trip. Like
what did Buffalo do in Alberta?
They swept Alberta.
Oh, so you're allowed to win road games.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
They don't know that.
It's an excuse, but it's not a good one.
It's not a good one. But there's an opportunity here for the Canucks where if we're ever going to turn it around and we need to do it right now and quick, Saturday needs to be the beginning of that. And if you lose your home opener to Buffalo on Saturday after that road trip, you're getting booed off the ice.
Yeah, because it's the home opener and because it's a fan base in Vancouver. They are a fan base. You're either going to get immense relief coming out of that game or catastrophe.
Do you remember that old ECW picture of a fan in the crowd holding up a sign that says, "If John Cena wins, we riot"?
Yes.
On Saturday, there's going to be half the stadium. Their feelings are, if Buffalo wins tonight, we riot.
Adam, ECW, one night only. You have to watch this thing.
Rob Van Dam?
Rob Van Dam.
I think that's my favorite pay-per-view of all time.
Oh, easily, because the best entrance of all time with Sandman. But Cena takes off his shirt and he throws it into the crowd at like 3 times because they kept throwing it back. Because fuck them. We want RVD to win.
John Cena, the biggest babyface in the history of wrestling, the guy who has the most Make-A-Wish Foundation trips. He's made the most wishes in Make-A-Wish.
10 million of them.
Children worship this guy. He was the biggest heel in the world that night.
In the world.
The crowd was, anyways, that's the Vancouver crowd.
The fucking fan who grabs the kendo stick. And he cuts himself. What a lunatic.
Okay, a couple things.
Sorry.
We got to move quick here, guys.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Can we talk about ECW a little bit more?
Slafkovský, his first goal with Montreal, and a nice big old fuck
No, we're not
you.
talking about that. No, okay. So we talk about the vibes.
Are you
I
gonna
gotta talk about the vibes.
You gonna talk about the fight or the goal?
It's both, because to me they are one and the same. Arbor Jackeye, every now and then this player shows up in your organization and he changes fucking everything. And with Montreal, you assume it's Nick Suzuki, it's Cole Caulfield, it's Juraj Slafkovský, and then Wi-Fi shows up. Mm-hmm. The best nickname in the NHL. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I do.
That they're calling him Wi-Fi?
Yeah, makes sense.
No one on the team knows how to spell his name.
We gotta call out Julian and Chris for a second. They did a thing at the end of the CJ show last episode where they're like, "Oh, the Wi-Fi for Jackeye is absolutely awesome because nobody has nicknames anymore. You know, guys like McDavid don't have nicknames. Guys like Austin Matthews don't have nicknames." And I sat there and I said, "They call him Poppy."
Yeah, they call him Poppy.
He does have a nickname.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Julian?
Hey, idiots.
So
what are you busy?
Lining up a meeting with HR right now. No, listen.
You're reprimanded.
Every now and then, this player shows up in your organization. I'm thinking along the lines of Milan Lucic when he showed up. Remember when Milan Lucic showed up?
No.
In Boston? Fuck, he was a nightmare.
Yeah, he was scary.
And he came out of nowhere. And like the Bruins were going with it. I want to say Krejci was pretty young at the time. Bergeron was pretty young at the time. I don't even think Marchand had made his debut in the NHL. And if he had, he wasn't the Marchand that we know. He showed up and he wrecked shop. He ruined Mike Komisarik's career in a lot of ways. And he kept trying to go that guy. You're Montreal's tough guy. Fuck you. I'm going to beat you the fuck up. And he wouldn't fight him. And then he fought him and he beat him the fuck up. And then Commissar tried to get revenge and it didn't work. And then the Canadians were the Bruins' sons for the better part of the next decade because of this magical unicorn who showed up. Arbor Xhekaj has come and given that energy to the Montreal Canadiens. I will say this, Zach Kassian is a tough nut. Xhekaj did beat the brakes off him. Kassian is a tough nut. He should not be fighting anymore. That's enough.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying because he's a bad fighter. That motherboard has taken way too many hits. You got to stop. He has to stop. Listen, I understand why people got up for that fight and were excited about it and everything. And at the end of the day, Zach Kassian's still in the NHL. That made me nauseous. So I'll cheer the next time Xhekaj fights someone else. Kassian's got to stop fighting. But Slafkovský scores his first NHL goal. And he looks at Josh Brown, who is also a tough nut and could definitely beat Slafkovsky's ass. And he looks at him, the widest eyes I've ever seen on an NHL ice surface, and goes, "Fuck you!" And that's immortalized forever.
And it's his first goal
as
forever.
the first ever goal from the first overall pick of the Montreal Canadiens. That's going to be the attitude of this entire season. Fuck you! And if you look at it nice and closely, who's behind him right over Slafkovsky's shoulder? Arbor Xhekaj. And after the game, Slafkovský says, he said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing here. He said, well, when you got a guy like Xhekaj who can kill anybody on your team, it's great.
Yeah. And you do play with that little bit of confidence. As much as that seems old world, it's absolutely true. Look at the way Montreal played.
Can you imagine if the Leafs had anybody who made can you imagine if your team had someone who made a 19-year-old look at one of the toughest guys in the NHL and go, "Fuck you!" after scoring his first NHL goal? Immaculate vibes for the Montreal Canadiens. No surprise they're over 500. I don't know how long they can ride it. I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not even saying they're going to be in the mix, but this is a building year, and what a thing they're building.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
What a thing they're building. Oh, dude, some of their best prospects aren't even there yet.
Right.
I think this thing is it's sped up a bit in Montreal. That Arbor Xhekaj kid, he's changed everything.
We got to move forward, and I need Jesse to answer for something. Jesse.
Yes.
How the hell does your pick to win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
How do they let the 0-5-0 Sharks win a game? How is that even possible? How can I call the Rangers? A Stanley Cup favorite? That's why I call them your Stanley Cup favorite, because they can't be a Stanley Cup favorite if they're losing to the Sharks.
Can I take this one? Can I take this one?
Sure.
James Reimer was in that.
Jesse.
It's true.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I would say, one, they lost in overtime. Overtime is a crapshoot. Once you get there, it's a coin flip.
Boo, and also fart.
2, they are 3-1-1. It's a good start to the year. If every 5 games you go 3-1-1, you got a good chance at finishing at the top of the league.
You got to win every game. This is as bad as the Leafs losing to the Coyotes. Eat shit.
This is it's not great that it was at home, but they have played a lot of games and a lot of nights to start the year. They're already at 5 games, you know.
A lot of teams have played too many.
Yes, and a lot of teams have not played enough. It's weird.
Yeah.
I got an issue with dress shirts.
What's that?
Got an issue with dress shirts because I'm an oddly proportioned man.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a big butt. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. My body proportions have changed a little bit since the pandemic. I haven't been to the gym as much.
You don't wear shirts on your butt.
When you're tucking a dress shirt in, it matters. And so what happens is my butt, which sits super high,
depending on how the shirt sits, when you're caked up,
that's right,
it can be an issue.
So listen, we want you to try this, okay? We want you to try Roan, okay? The dress shirt was due for a radical reinvention, and Roan stepped up to the challenge. Roan is the commuter shirt. It is the most comfortable, breathable, flexible shirt known to man, and here is why. Roan's comfortable 4-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy whatever life throws your way. From the work commute to 18 holes of golf. There you go. Okay?
Wow.
It's time to feel confident with a wrinkle-free shirt without the hassle. With Roan's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear the shirt. It's that easy.
That's cool.
And with Gold Fusion and anti-odor technology, also good for Sweaty Boy over here, you'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long. On top of that, Roan is 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. Okay, now, the commuter shirt can get you through any workday, and we want to give you 20% off. Okay? Head to Roan.com. That's RHONE.com/dangle. Use the promo code dangle. You'll get 20% off the entire order. The entire order. Again, that's 20% off the entire order.
Wow.
When you go to RHONE.com/what? Dangle. That's right. Want to bet? You can do it. Sports Interaction. It's Canada's sportsbook. Football continues. World Series right around the corner. And of course, we've been talking about it and we will continue talking about it. Hockey season has started. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of the many prop bets made for Canadians by Canadians. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, easy to play, and easy to cash out.
High five.
High five. Woo! Yeah. High five with the prop on the table. Join now to see all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Ontario only, 19+. Please play responsibly. High five. Okay, and last thing here, and I've shared this with
Go
you,
Rangers.
Jesse.
Yeah.
It's an ugly look. Let's go through quickly the reverse retro jerseys.
Oh, let's
Jesse
do
will
it.
just have them on the screen.
You gotta give me a second.
And we can kind of look through, because what I would like to do is discuss. Okay? I would like to discuss. We need to have a look at some of these, because there are some where I'm like, I'm looking at all the ratings, and every company has their own ratings and that sort of thing. But I'm looking at some of these ratings. I'm like, you guys, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. And I can already tell you a couple that you guys or Steve especially is dead wrong on. But we'll talk about it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I literally copied all of, I went to each team and copied all of their jerseys to an image file that I sent to Jesse, because I needed all. But I put 33 teams in because one of the team's jerseys glows in the dark, and I wanted you to see both sides.
They do?
Yes.
I, honest to goodness,
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, I'll show you which one.
Okay. Cool. What order are we doing this?
There is no order.
There
Just
is
as it
no
comes up.
order.
Your name, it's out of
Oh,
5. Give me a rating out of 5, okay?
Okay.
How many Jumanjis out of the new Jumanji do you give this?
We were trying to come up with a rating
What's
system.
the rating system?
How many Jumanji the good ones? Or sorry,
The new
Jumanji
ones.
the new ones?
How many Dwayne The Rock Johnsons out of
Okay.
5 do you give this?
What? How many? What's better than this out of 5s?
Okay, sure.
It's
better than this.
For the ref?
Yeah.
I thought for a half a second I thought you were going with Mark Scheif's.
No.
Did you see that Jets fans are upset with you about that?
No.
Because you keep bringing it up and they're like, we got over that. Maybe you should too.
When was
What's
the last
that?
time I brought that up?
A couple times.
What?
Shut up.
I'm just saying. Maybe get over it, Steve.
I have. Yeah.
All right, where do you want to start?
All right,
That
wherever
one.
you want. Just
That
start with
one.
whoever.
No, we'll do the Avs.
Okay.
Alphabetical.
Alphabetical.
You see.
Okay, now I like that this is I'm going to give this 4 out of 5, because I like that it's a throwback to the original Colorado team, and I like that it's kind of it does have Minnesota Wild-esque colors, but I like it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Is it reversible?
It is.
So wait.
Steve, just give it a damn rating.
Well, I'm confused because it looks like you can.
What do you mean Minnesota Wild? That's,
There's
that's the flag of Colorado.
I know, but there's a little bit of that.
Wait, what did you say?
Do you remember the Minnesota Wild original jerseys?
Yeah, it looks like the original Minnesota Wild.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
No, it does.
It does? Yeah.
I'm going to give it 3.5. What's better than this out of 5?
Really?
I like that they did the old Colorado thing. I don't know. I thought it could be better.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
No, it's out of 5, Jesse.
5 out of 5.
You give it a 5 out of 5. Why is that?
I like the colors.
Okay. So I like the colors. Well, fair enough. The
4
center
out of
C
5.
is derived from the state flag and angled stripes to mimic the Rocky Mountains. That's according to the NHL write-up. Who's next, Jesse?
Chicago.
Okay, the Chicago Blackhawks. Boo. 1983 Chicago uniform takes the literal interpretation of reverse retro. The black and red colors are inverted with Chicago woodmark, inspired by the 2019 Winter Classic crest laying on the chest. What do we give this?
I'm going to give this 2. What's better than this out of 5? This looks like a knockoff jersey you'd buy at the X in Toronto.
I'm going to give this a 0. Garbage franchise on and off the ice, and this jersey represents that perfectly.
It's simple enough that it's not a 0 for me, but
It's a 0.
It's not great.
That's crap. There's no
it's
effort
clothing.
into that.
So like they delivered a sweater.
Yeah.
So it's
weak.
I think that gets you a half point.
Oh, thank you,
half
Jesse.
point out of 5.
It stands out as weak in a strong crop.
Hey, Blackhawks, try next time.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Next up, Jesse.
Columbus. We're going alphabetical order.
Okay,
So,
Columbus. Yeah. Well, if we had, we would be doing the Ducks, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Starting?
Oh, well, then
started
I
at
guess
C,
it
man.
wasn't.
Yeah, you started at C.
The way you gave it to me wasn't alphabetical.
Well,
was it
I didn't
not?
get it in
Oh, no.
alphabetical. I just-
Avs, Blackhawks,
Doesn't- yeah.
Blue Jackets. We're doing alphabetical by team name.
Okay.
Oh,
That's how you deliver it.
This-
Columbus
Right.
Blue Jackets, a black body accented with, I'm reading off NHL.com, with navy stripes along the sleeves honors the Blue Jackets' original third jersey while tying in light blue from the team's current third jersey. The original third jersey was on display at the current, was first displayed with the Blue Jackets logo, inspired by the Ohio State flag. What do we do?
I'm going to give that 4 what's better than this out of 5.
Yeah?
It's a really solid jersey. It's just simple. It's a great combination of simple and busy. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of that America because they're the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, and I mean there is an element of that I do enjoy.
I'm going to give
Even as a foreigner.
I am also going to give this a 4 because I actually really like the stars. Stars on the sleeve. I think the way that it all looks together, the blue and the black work really well. I think it's a great, pleasing jersey. Jesse, what do you give it?
I'll give it a 1. I don't like the cutout of the black in the front. I think it's weird looking.
Whoa!
I think
wow.
the way the black's just kind of, it's just a little front square part of the black, and then you got the powder blue on the sides. I think it's a little odd.
Would you like it
Yeah,
better
1
if
out
it
of
was
5.
navy?
Yes.
It may not contrast as. I want to see that on the ice.
Yeah, I don't. The black and the blue like that. It's just two distinct areas of the jersey. I don't like it.
Yeah, every single one of these jerseys looks better on the ice. Every single one of them.
Yeah, except for Chicago's. Next up, Jesse.
Next up would be the Blues, alphabetical by team name.
Okay, St. Louis Blues. Let me just pull this up here because NHL.com has them in a different order and I gotta find it. All right, the Blues honor their inaugural jersey presented in 1966, which was a prototype worn by ownership of the club a year before they hit the ice. The gold and blue pairing is inspired by the Blues' third jersey and other vintage uniforms, including the 17 and 22 Winter Classic jerseys. Steven, what do you think?
I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5. It's not my favorite. It's a whole bunch of yellow for a team that isn't.
Yeah, but it's not the colors now. It's the throwback.
That was the original.
Yeah.
I think it'll look really good in the stands. I think it'll be a great combination of blue, white, and yellow as a standalone jersey. It's not my favorite, but I could see it growing on me. I'm curious what the players are going to wear. Like, is it going to be yellow gloves and pants?
I
as well?
hope so. That'd be fun.
No, it's got to be blue.
It'd just be a big bottle of mustard skating down the ice.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be blue and it'll look good.
Jesse, what do you think?
5 out of 5. This is a gorgeous jersey. I love the color scheme. The yellow and the powder blue always go well together. And the music note of the St. Louis Blues on the crest, like, that's gorgeous.
So great.
I love the jersey.
And as
one of my
because
favorite
you're a
ones.
fonts nerd, right? You like fonts.
Yeah.
The font on that is cool.
Oh yeah, they did the whole blues thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's like blues in terms of music. You know, they really exemplified that with the jersey. It's awesome.
I like it. It actually,
Since we've started talking about it, it's grown on me, but it's still not my favorite.
for me, it's a 5 out of 5. And the reason I'll tell you this is that it's one of the only jerseys here that actually looks retro.
Oh yeah,
There's
It
a lot
does.
of jerseys do not look retro in what we're seeing. And this is legitimately a retro look. Those colors were huge in the 1960s. That font, that style, obviously that was the jersey before the jersey that they ended up wearing. Absolutely love it. 5 out of 5.
I'm
for me.
bumping it to a 3.
Okay, all right. Jesse, who's up next?
The Boston Bruins.
The Boston Boo cares. Boston Bruins. I'm just upset. Hang on. I just got to find them in the... And there it is. Boston Bruins. Inspired by the Bruins' 1995 third jersey, which was originally gold, this bright white jersey's main character is the Bruin itself. Legend has it that the image of the Bruin was taken from a painting of a bear hanging on the team's executive wall, which is why it resembles a painted image instead of a digital one. So that's interesting. What do we think?
I'm going to go 4 out of 5. It brings me back to the era it's meant to, which I'm pretty sure is like when we were kids and the jerseys were a little hokey and we had the weird arms and the weird waist.
Yeah.
And the weird third logo. I know some Bruins fans aren't down with it. I think it looks pretty cool.
I'm going to give it a 2. Number one, because the Boston Bruins have enough history that you could actually make this look retro. I guess 90s is that retro now? But also it harkens back to one of the worst eras in Bruins history. This is when the team had no shot at winning a cup. Their glory days were over, and they were looking at trading Ray Bourque. I don't think that this is. I mean, Ray Bourque was traded in 2002 or something like that. But to be honest with you, this is not the best era of Bruins hockey. It's not one of those ones that you necessarily want to go back to. They didn't have a lot of success. That's why it's a no for me, Jesse.
I'm not rating the eras. I'm doing the exercise correctly and rating the jerseys, and in which I will give it a 1 out of 5.
Oh!
Wow!
We're going to get to a jersey I really like, but whenever you have a nice animal like a bear, you have an opportunity to make that bear play hockey. And if you don't draw your little logo with the animal playing hockey, I'm giving it a 1. Plus, the brown's ugly. Any jersey that's brown is disgusting. It's poop. Why are you doing that?
Wow.
Get better colors, Boston. It's stupid.
All right, Jesse, who's next?
All right. We got the Montreal Canadiens.
Montreal Canadiens. Let me just find them on the list. I'm zipping around here. The Canadiens 79 uniform, when the team won its 22nd Stanley Cup title, comes back to life in a new shade of light blue inspired by the city of Montreal's colors. Steve, what do you think?
You're the Montreal Canadiens. Don't overcomplicate it. I really like what they did here. 4.5 out of 5.
I think it's as close to perfect as you're going to get for a jersey that is incomparable. The Montreal Canadiens jersey is the most iconic in the sport. It's never changed. It's like the New York Yankees, and they managed to stick to that while adding some great colors. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. Beautiful jersey.
Yeah, it's just the Canadiens jersey in blue. It's 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
It's a great. They have a great jersey. They didn't do anything. They just had blue.
And everything they do is retro anyway. Because it's the same damn jersey.
No, Montreal, they do it right.
That's right.
Perfect.
Next up, Jesse.
Next up is the Canes.
The Canes. All right. So, Carolina. All right. Where are you, Carolina? The team's current away jersey gets redesigned in a bold red for the first time in franchise history. There are 2 sets of hurricane warning flags on the shoulders and Canes star step center crest to underscore the flag details. What do we think?
The rest of the jersey looks really good. I really like the color scheme and how simple it is, but I frigging hate the diagonal letters. Stop it. To me, there's one team in the league that's allowed to do it, and it's the Rangers. I hate it. Please stop doing it, too.
I would also say Pittsburgh's allowed to do it. But the Carolina Hurricanes are, it seems like, when you get a project that's a long-term project and you get a really good start on it, you're like, you know what? I've only got to put the finishing touches on this. And then the night before at midnight, you're going, oh, crap, I didn't finish that project.
That's morning of.
That's what the Carolina Hurricanes jersey looks like. Everything else about this jersey is good, except for the Star Step Canes. It's lazy. It really doesn't speak to any history of the Carolina Hurricanes. And you could include the Hartford Whalers in there, too. Nothing about them. So I
already did it.
I guess. But I look at this Canes jersey and I go, I don't see history here. I don't see retro here. I see boring. And that's the worst. So 2.5.
You could have done Rod Brindamore's face.
There you go, Jesse.
They get a 0. They didn't do anything. Steve, what am I showing you right now?
They didn't do anything.
Wow.
This is their fucking away jersey.
Oh, they didn't.
You know what? You're right. They just made a red one. You read it too in the fucking NHL.com thing. It's just their away jersey that they made red.
Yeah,
I'm docking them to a 1.
You get no points. Right. You didn't do anything. You just fucking flip the colors. Make a jersey.
I'm docking them. That's a 1.
Oh my god.
You're right.
Try.
Damn.
Try.
Yeah, my 2.5 was generous. All right. You're right. Try, please. Next one, Jesse.
Vancouver
Canucks. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Inspired by the Canucks' 1962 uniform of the former Western Hockey League, the reverse retro jersey features a recreation of the 1960s Johnny Canuck icon in the center chest, matching the original jersey. Player numbers appear on the left chest and right shoulder only.
I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5. I feel like the Canucks had a very simple mission, which was put Johnny Canuck as the main logo just once. And they finally did it. The navy blue, I wonder if they could have done something different. That's my only remark. It's a really nice jersey, and a shitload of people are going to get it for Christmas.
I'm going to give it a 4.5. I think this is exactly what you want of a reverse retro to go. If I have any criticism at all, I wouldn't have gone with black. I would have gone with a different combo. Green wouldn't have been
black?
it. Yeah, or black or dark blue. I would have gone with like a powder blue. I would have gone with something a little bit more retro to the time.
Maybe royal.
Yeah, or royal. It's just a little bit Dallas Stars for me, but I still want to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Jesse, go ahead.
5 out of 5. Johnny Canuck is the most fun logo in hockey history.
Oh, that's true.
Johnny Canuck, anything with him on it is a 5 out of 5. It is perfect jersey. Well done, Vancouver.
I think it's going to turn their season around. Legit.
They might even hold a lead.
Can he play left wing? I don't know.
Jesse, next up, who we got?
Next up, we got the Washington Capitals.
Okay, Washington Capitals. So this is interesting. The Screaming Eagle makes a comeback against the all-black colorway in the Capitals' new jersey. Asymmetrical striping, unconventional font, and a new blue and copper color scheme were influenced by the 2005 uniform. What do we think about the Capitals reverse retro?
Well, it's, you talked about the Bruins jersey taking everyone back to a bad era of Bruins hockey. I mean, the Capitals sucked when they wore this jersey. Well, they
went to the Stanley Cup final in that jersey.
They did go to the Stanley Cup final with this one, and then they went into the beginning of the Ovechkin era, which had the Abyss before it. I did forget about the Ole the goalie Stanley Cup final. Listen, all you got to do is make Ovechkin wear this thing once before he retires, and Nick Backstrom too. I'm tempted to give it a 5. I think I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 because, hey, listen, when I look at that jersey, I think retro. I think Oates, I think Bondra, I think Kolzig, I think Stanley Cup run, where I watched Detroit at like 11 o'clock at night win that championship in 4 games. And I know Caps fans, that's really tough for you, but that was the best era of Washington Capitals hockey until they won the Cup.
Who was their head coach?
I'm probably going to hate myself for not remembering.
Ron Wilson.
Ron Wilson. There it is. Jesse, what do you say?
I really like it. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. It really feels vintage.
Yes.
Like you look at it, unlike some of the other jerseys that we've been through that are just current day jerseys in a different color. This actually feels like an old retro jersey, and it takes you back to an era. It's awesome. The Eagle's a great logo. The gold is all sparkly, which is immaculate. It's a good jersey.
The next era, or the next team.
Next team. The Arizona Coyotes.
Okay, the Coyotes are the first team to ever wear a jersey featuring an earth tone color sienna. Inspired by the Coyotes' 1998 to 2003 third uniform, this jersey depicts a desert and incorporates the Coyotes' crescent moon logo as a part of the landscape. What do we think? I'm thinking like Craig Janney, Teppo Numminen, Keith Tkachuk vibes.
Ooh.
What do we like here?
Listen, you leave the Arizona Coyotes in charge of 2 things: humiliating the Leafs in Toronto and reverse retro jerseys. 5 out of 5.
All of those things, I also say 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. I really kind of want one.
No, I honestly, that one's
a fucking gorgeous jersey.
The only thing is, I don't know if it's as good as their last one, because they've managed to have arguably the best one twice, which is really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Next up, Jesse.
Next up, we have the New Jersey Devils.
What do we think of the New Jersey Devils? Let me read what they say. Paying homage to the team's past Colorado Rockies and future New Jersey Devils, the sweater combines the 82 Devils jersey with former Rockies colors. What do we think?
Oh, I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5. They tried something adventurous. They put blue on a New Jersey and actually kind of justified it.
It works.
It doesn't look bad. It works. So 3.5.
I think you missed an opportunity by not incorporating green on this. You didn't need to do the Colorado Rockies because the Avs, and you probably knew this because you have meetings about this, are already doing the Colorado Rockies. you could have just gone back to the Christmas tree Mickey Mouse franchise jerseys.
They did that last time though, so I assume they were like,
do it
"Let's try
again,
something else,
or then do the '90s where you were winning all your cups and you had red, black, and white.
This is what they are now.
It's their current jersey, so they were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know?
Colorado Rock Key in a hard place.
A few teams.
I still like it though. I want you to say I
yeah.
do like the blue, yellow, red. I really do. So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
A few teams were really adventurous.
I respect it.
I would. Yeah, they did all right here.
Yeah. No,
they tried a lot harder than Carolina and Chicago.
I share your guys' feeling. 3.5. It's the New Jersey jersey. Like it's like the Canadians one is that it hasn't changed a lot over the years. Just kind of the colors that changed, and all they did was change the color.
You don't screw with that logo. It's a really good logo.
It is. Okay, coming up next, Jesse. Who do we have? The Ducks. Okay. So the Anaheim Ducks, the 1993 signature asymmetrical body stripe, chevron sleeve stripes, and 3-color player numbers is an ode to the Ducks' inaugural season uniform remix with the team's modern-day color scheme.
I just freaking love that logo. And the Ducks have had so many goofy designs around that logo that I like that they went simple here. 4.5 out of 5. I'm
gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I love this jersey. I think it's great. And I really wish that the Ducks would stop running from the Disney past. Those movies are iconic. The team was very, very good. Made the Stanley Cup Finals. Like that. Remember that team under Babs. Some new coach named Babcock with Solani and Steve Thomas and Rob Niedermeyer and all of those players. That was a heck of a team that lost.
They didn't have Solani. It was Paul Correa.
Oh, it was Paul Correa. Solani wasn't there anymore.
No, Solani wore that the actual Disney cartoon.
He did. Yeah. I like that jersey a lot. I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Jesse.
I like it too. It's a really good jersey. You can't go wrong with the old Ducks stuff. They've always, throughout their franchise history, always had good jerseys, and this is just recreating one of the old ones. So yeah, 5 out of 5 for me.
The Ducks with the D and the hockey stick just falling.
No, that was a fucking awesome jersey. The cartoon duck.
Next one.
All right, we got the Calgary Flames.
Okay, and this one is a very, very interesting one. The Flames crest is placed on a thick diagonal striped pedestal in this jersey, which is an ode to the Calgary 1995 uniform. The player name and number are italicized to match the forward movement on the Flames C crest. What do we think about this jersey?
I see exactly what they were going for, and it's actually kind of clever. But the thing is, once you write your clever idea down and it sucks, you shouldn't do it. I don't think it's very good. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Wow.
Can we give negatives?
Wow, you really don't like this one.
I don't know what the hell that is.
They had
that pedestal before.
Yeah,
that was the 95.
It doesn't look good. Why would you put it back?
It looks like a bathrobe.
Right, what the hell is that?
Well, yeah, man.
I don't understand.
You know what? Here's the thing too, with the 1995 jersey, it wasn't the pedestal part came out of the bottom sort of spot. It wasn't so aggressive. Yeah. I think what takes away from this jersey, because I think you got the color combinations right, is the pedestal. It's too much. And there's like, it's like a different part of the jersey. If you look really close, the jersey is literally cut in 2 halves. Here's one fabric for the jersey, and here's one fabric for the sash or the pedestal or whatever you want to call it.
Sash.
Yeah. So for me, I am a big fan of old Calgary Flames stuff because I've lived there. My grandfather was a season ticket holder. I love the Flames to this day. I am a 2.5 out of 5.
It's a 0.
That's Joe Nieuwendyk, by the way, getting traded to Dallas that year for who?
Jerome McGinley.
Bingo.
It looks like 2 jerseys that are just weirdly put next to each other. It's fucking 0 out of 5.
It is essentially that. Jesse, next one.
Flyers.
Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, so we'll see if I want to know what Torts thinks first off, because I want to know always what he thinks. Revisited their years as repeat Cup champions in 74 and 75. The Flyers jersey is nearly all white and black with orange accents. It features a thin black outline surrounding the crest to match the one worn in 1974. What do we think of this?
I think the big problem with the last crop of reverse retros is they tried to do too much, and they went back to basics with this one. It's a nice jersey. 4 out of 5.
Wow, okay.
I think a lot of fans are going to buy it.
Yeah, Jesse.
4.5 out of 5. It's a really good jersey. It's very clean. Very crisp looking. It actually looks vintage and retro when you look at it. You know, you get a feel that it's not a modern day jersey. It's perfect. It's 4.5 out of 5.
I think I would give it a 4 out of 5 if there was a little more orange around the base of the uniform. That's what I'm looking for in this, just a little bit more color. Because remember, that color, burnt orange, was gigantic in the 70s. Everybody's carpet was that color. So I'm giving it a 3.5, and they could have got full marks if they went full Cooperall. I'm just saying.
They will.
Are they going full Cooperall?
No, they're not gonna wear
in their
them.
pregame, they're wearing them for 2 games.
in the pregame.
Are they?
Yeah, they're wearing them out in the pregame skate.
okay.
You're not allowed to legally wear it for a game.
No, they're great.
But
They're
doing
definitely
it.
safe.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
We play hockey with a guy who wears them,
Yeah,
and like they're the authentic.
Cooperall.
they're
He's-
from that time.
He's had them for longer than we've been alive.
Yeah.
I bet they stink.
We got hockey tonight.
Yeah, we do.
No, thanks for the invite.
Go fuck yourself.
Islanders.
All right. So this is interesting one. This is this is one where you had Brett Lindros, you had Wendell Clark wore this jersey, you had
Trevor Linden.
Trevor Linden wore this jersey. I'm still looking for the Islanders ring in their 50th season with an ode to the 95 uniform. The fisherman returns on the center crest with a raised embroidered detail of the fisherman hat, beard, and hands with teal accents and waves. The head-to-toe navy color is complemented by orange and white triangular trims. What do you give this?
You ever love something and you can't explain it? This 4.5 out of 5. It's like the edgy remake of Captain Highlander. Yarr, it's fish sticks tonight. I love it.
I'm with you, Steve. I love this too. 4 out of 5. Even though it wasn't the greatest era of Islanders hockey, they drafted really, really well. Zdeno Chara, Roberto Luongo, they all put on this jersey. There was something about that jersey at the time that stuck out to me as a kid. I love it, and I'm completely biased here. I think it's a 4 out of 5.
5 out of 5 for me. It looks like a quirky ECHL jersey. Like, it's so perfect. And any time you have a little guy on your jersey with a hockey stick that should have a hockey stick in any scenario where he'd be captaining a boat, it's amazing.
Yes.
Like, how can you not love this?
Also, I love that their model for this, and I didn't send you that photo, is a guy who with a beard in a fisherman suit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't send it to you because you couldn't get a good look at the whole jersey. So if you want to look that up, you should look it up on the Islanders Twitter.
Throw your plastic
We got
sticks
the
in
Jets.
batteries.
Winnipeg Jets. Okay, so the Winnipeg Jets one, they've got a lot of history. It's an easy they've got a lot of creativity they can go with. The Jets ditch the red in their new jersey, highlighting royal blue and featuring a bright white base. The 2022 reverse retro jersey design was prompted by the 1990 jersey, the inaugural year of the uniform worn by Teemu Selanne when he broke in and broke the rookie goal scoring record in 92-93 with, I believe, 76 goals. What do we think of the Winnipeg Jets?
The Jets had one of the worst reverse retro jerseys last time, and to me, this is one of the best. I'm going to give it 5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's clean.
Some people don't like that the rocket on the Jet isn't red. I actually kind of like that they went for a thing and executed it well. Good for them.
I think this is clean. It's perfect. You like the early 90s feel. I mean, to me, the 80s Jets jerseys are always going to be my favorite. They're all the Dale Hawerchuk Jets are that jersey is one of my favorites ever. But this one is spectacular. 4 out of 5. Jesse?
They should have worn a Thrashers jersey. The fact that they didn't do that is 0 out of 5. No, I'm just kidding. This is a perfect jersey. 5 out of 5. It's so clean, like Steve said. The logo, I think this is the best Jets logo. With the little rocket, it's perfect.
Without
Love
the
it.
red?
Yeah, no, this is so clean and it's great. It's an awesome jersey.
Okay, next up.
Kings.
Okay, the Los Angeles Kings. Now, this is a really interesting jersey. And for Kings fans who are old enough, you've seen this before. The Kings honor their 1982 uniform, which celebrated one of the greatest NHL comebacks ever, the Miracle on Manchester. The white jersey features purple and gold trims with the royal crest sewn with the raised gems and satin stitch embroidery.
I think if you make jerseys for an LA-based team, you go for any excuse. You use any excuse to go for purple and gold. And they did. A lot of people are going to buy this. It's a really good jersey. I'm going to say 4.5.
This is an absolute all-star caliber reverse retro jersey for me. This screams Marcel Dion. This screams pre-Gretzky. It's exactly what you want reverse retro to be. You want it to be old school looking, but updated for today. That's exactly what they went for, and that's exactly what they got. This is one of the 2 best jerseys on the board. 5 out of 5 for me. I might buy this jersey. It's so good.
Yeah, banger, 5 out of 5. We don't talk enough about how in Sacramento there's a basketball team called the Kings, and in LA there's a there's a hockey team called the Kings. I think that's kind of weird. I would like to take my time to talk about that because the jersey's good. It's a good jersey. Great. Adam said everything needed to be said.
I am 34. That's the first time I've ever noticed.
They're so close to each other. Why are there two professional sports teams in the reason named the Kings?
The Wildcats.
Why didn't anybody think of that? Why would you name them both the Kings? Somebody please explain.
Next up, Jesse.
The Seattle Kraken.
Seattle Kraken, the most retro of them all. In their sophomore season, the Kraken highlight the team's sea green color in the body of the jersey. Below it, the S crest is submerged with the navy striped C, where the Kraken's red eye peaks just above the surface. What do we think, gentlemen?
I can't decide if I love it or hate it, but I'm going to lean towards love it. I'm going to say 4 out of 5. I mean, who the hell wears seafoam?
I know.
Their whole existence as a color scheme is going for it. I like what they did.
I'm going to say if the Kraken were a 50-year-old franchise, that feels like a jersey that they would have worn in the early 70s. And especially those colors, because seafoam was also really big in the early 70s and late 60s. Man, good for them. The striping is perfect for a retro feel for a team that has zero history. Good for you, Seattle Kraken, 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think they did a great job making up a retro jersey.
Yeah.
Like, this is whatever your idea of a retro jersey is, they kind of did one. I wish they had done something new with the logo. Okay. Like, they just kind of threw on the S logo on top of the beautiful striping. So that's why it knocks it down a point.
The stripes behind the model are red, and it made me think they would have maybe tried to go for a little bit more red on the jersey, because that would be honoring their history. Remember, we talked about what the Kraken's jersey could look like before we knew what it would look like, because Seattle used to have a team like forever ago. I just thought there would have been a little bit more red, but it's a good jersey.
3.5 out of 5.
3.5. Whoa, yeah, Jesse's
they get
tough.
knocked down for the lack of creativity on the logo there.
This is why you can't give the Canes a pass, though, because they're like, well, what are they going to do? They've only got 25 years of history. Well, the Seattle Kraken pulled it off.
Yeah, they did something creative.
Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs, honoring their 61-62 championship uniform. The Maple Leafs crest is recreated with vintage single needle stitching, a new narrow shoulder yoke, a pointed seam construction that was specifically created to match the original sweater. Steve Dangle.
I wish I could explain why I'm such a sucker for the orange NHL logo, but I am. This jersey took a lot of abuse for being too simple, and you're wrong. I judge a Leafs jersey on two things. Does it look good? Do I want to buy it? Yes, and yes. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Please buy me this for Christmas.
By Steve's thing, I think the best part about the Leafs jersey is the NHL logo. This is the worst, most pathetic reverse retro jersey the Leafs have ever put out. This is if you went to the dollar store and you bought a Leafs jersey, that's what it would look like. Oh, yeah. Did they design this with Microsoft Paint? Like, this is so don't get duped, guys. These jerseys are almost $300. If you're going to spend your money, at least put some effort into it. The Leafs did not put any effort into it. This era looks almost exactly like the era they're already in.
It doesn't at all.
On.
Those are complete. Have you seen what they're wearing right now?
This is garbage.
Is a beautiful nod to old and new. You're wrong.
No, it's not. It's actually poorly done. I don't care how it was stitched, and I think that's so funny that they mentioned that.
This is worse than the last one?
Recreated with vintage single needle stitching. Go to hell. What are you talking about? Who cares how it's stitched? How does it look?
Tell you what.
These aren't the same.
Don't go to hell. Go to the store and get me one.
Don't waste your money.
I want one.
Don't waste your money.
That's one with Dangle.
A 1 out of 5. Just because I don't want to put them in the same category as the Canes and the Blackhawks. It's a 1 out of 5.
I'm gonna get you one.
I can't.
Dickhead on it.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like when you go to like those stores that literally rip that rip a logo off the internet and make their own jerseys and sell them for $80 or something like that. That's what it looks like.
It really doesn't.
No, man.
Cheap. To me, it looks cheap.
No.
Jesse, what do you think?
Also, do you remember these were the last reverse retros that we hate? Oh, there's an ad
with the gray.
These ones.
See, you guys hated them. I didn't think they were that bad.
Awful.
I thought they were 3.5.
I thought there was real potential there. If you make the gray white, I might have bought it.
On the old one. This jersey that they came out with yesterday, I don't hate it at all. Like 4 out of 5 for me. I think the logo, what they did with it is it looks really cool. It's a nice little stitching and twist on the current logo. The fucking NHL orange logo, that's such a great point.
Why do I love it?
I wish they would go back to the double stripes on the bottom as opposed to the pajama one stripe on the bottom that they have now. Shoulders are cool because that's the era. I don't mind this jersey at all. 4 out of 5.
It's a good jersey.
Yeah.
Adam's wrong.
Fucking weirdo, Adam Wild.
Interesting taste.
It's a
that you
great
guys have.
jersey.
Art. Who's next?
One of the best. Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, baby. This is a Wendell Clark era, Darcy Tucker era,
Darren Poopa
era, Chris Gratton era, Tampa Bay Lightning jersey. What do we give it out of 5?
You know, there are a number of teams in the NHL who are in a difficult position.
You got to read.
I didn't read the thing.
Yeah, you got to read it.
The jersey features the rain, the sea, and the lightning sublimated in full-size graphics across the jersey with lightning bolts down the side of the pants, which is cool. The lightning bolts on the side of the pants.
Oh, excellent.
Pays homage to their original 1997 Storm 3rd jersey with electric-styled font. Sorry, Steve. Please continue.
All good. I mean, some teams, like the Lightning showed up in what, 92? Like, you don't have a lot of history to draw from. Damn, that's a good jersey.
They've also done the smart thing by not changing their logo all that much throughout. Keep your logo the same, change the jersey around it.
But this reminds me how good their old logo was. I gotta say, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I haven't given many of those out. That's a great jersey, man.
I love this jersey. I think it's so much fun. It was creative when it came out. And remember, it was like the same era where the LA Kings made Gretzky put on that Burger King jersey, which is the ugliest jersey in NHL history. Look it up.
It's one of them.
Or one of the ugliest. It's one of the goofiest too. I give Tampa Bay 4.5 out of 5 for this because the original jersey was ugly. This is also ugly, but it's retro, so it's cool. 4.5.
And the jersey's gorgeous. 5 out of 5. You might see me walking down Queen Street with the Steven Stamkos Tampa Bay Lightning jersey.
Wow.
It's an awesome jersey. I might get this in the Kachina.
Oh, the Kachina's cool.
Yeah.
Kachina's cool.
No, those are my two favorite. Tampa's a slight second behind the Arizona one. This is awesome jersey.
Okay. What do we have next, Jesse?
We have the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, Edmonton Oilers. This is an interesting one for Oilers fans because they were always divided on this jersey. The Oilers' 3rd jersey assumes a modern orange and navy twist. Front and center is the oil drop surrounded by dynamic gear with each bolt hub representing one of the team's 5 Stanley Cup championships.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know what? I hated the original version of this jersey when they wore it.
Everybody did.
Dude, it was ugly. And I got to say, the Oilers went for it, and I think did a really good job. I'm tempted to give it a 5. I think I'll give it a 4.5.
I think it's interesting that the Oilers went for something that was already bad, and it continued to be bad.
Yeah.
How is it? Like, we already know that the Beyblade jersey for the Edmonton Oilers.
The Beyblade!
It is Beyblade!
No.
It's terrible!
No, this jersey fucking sucks.
It sucks, man.
Like it.
That is it. And it was a bad era of Oilers hockey as well. It wasn't good. This is like
it wasn't
the
good.
Alish Hemsky. We're going to sign him.
Sean Horkoff.
Sean Horkoff years. Fernando Pisani was your big star. I honestly, guys, I'm sorry to say this.
Did Dustin Penner wear this?
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
don't know. They're gonna sell a shitload
They
of these.
are. And listen, Oilers fans, if you love it, that's cool. It's a 1 out of 5 for me, Jesse.
It's almost at like 30th if I'm ranking all the jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
The logo is the worst logo ever in sports. And they put it back on a jersey. It's terrible.
Might be worse than the Buffalo Slug. Might be worse.
Yeah. No, it's awful. I don't like, what is this fucking
What
oil
is that?
drop
I think
thing?
the logo is too big.
It's terrible in every respect.
How about the
I
logo's
like
just
it.
bad? Who cares what the size is?
I like the jersey.
It could be a millimeter. It's still ugly.
Wait, is that black or navy?
It's navy.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, what? You're the
would
Flyers.
that change your ranking?
It would.
Well, I can't believe it.
It would.
Do they all have the orange NHL logo? I haven't been paying attention to that.
There you go.
Maybe fuzzy?
You made me notice it with the Leafs jersey. Do they all have the orange NHL
I don't know.
logo?
Not all of them, I don't
No.
think. But maybe
It
they do.
looks
Maybe
like-
they do.
Yeah, that was a good point.
Oh.
With the logo. They all do. It looks like, yeah.
It just really stuck out with the Leafs one because it's
Right.
blue on that orange. It looks really good on the Leafs one.
Good call, Steve.
Okay,
I love it.
next one.
Next one's the Florida Panthers.
Once the shoulder of the 1998 jersey, the iconic sun and palm trees and stick logo was moved to center stage of the Panthers 2022 jersey. The light blue color was derived from the team's 2009 third jersey and is paired with a current primary colors of navy, yellow, and red.
Look at this fucking thing. 5.
Yeah, I mean looks and feels like Florida to me.
Yep.
I love this jersey. I think it's a 5 out of 5.
Unfair advantage using Aaron Ekblad as a model.
He's so damn handsome.
It's bullshit.
He's never not been handsome.
No, he's always been
Crazy.
Look
Sitting
at
on
that
that boat
shit.
looking sexy.
And I
Jesse.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Like you said, it feels like Florida, that blue, that orange, that yellow. And then you have the palm tree right in the middle. It's gorgeous. You don't even need to throw their like name on it or anything.
No.
You just know it's
You just
Florida. And the hockey stick with the palm tree. I absolutely adore these jerseys. 5 out of 5.
The one thing that's interesting is the reason I sent you that picture is I feel like it looks better outside than the jersey did on the actual website. Because if you're looking at it on the website, the history never repeats. It's a little bit darker. And I thought, hey, wait a second, that's not how that blue's supposed to look. Hence why I brought
It
the
looks
neckline.
lighter here. Yeah.
The one thing I would say about the jersey is I'm very curious, like what equipment color they go with. Because if it's powder blue, I don't know if I'm going to be down.
So who's
We'll
up
see.
next, Jesse?
Pittsburgh
Penguins. Okay, so this is a fun one because this was a very, very interesting era of Pittsburgh hockey. Streamlined Penguins jersey worn by Lemieux and Yager throughout most of their 90s run together resurfaces with additional gold and white stripes on the sleeve. Penguins crest has dimensional embroidery raising the shadow of the penguin head and wings. What do we give it?
That logo slaps so damn hard. 5.
It's a great, you mentioned Yager and Lemieux, but also Ron Francis, who I believe is top 5 all time in NHL scoring or close to it. Top 10 for sure.
Tom Barrasso.
I love this jersey. They could go back to it tomorrow and I'd be happy. Pittsburgh, 5 out of 5. Man, I might buy this one. Jesse.
Yeah, Robo Penguin for the win. This is one of their best logos. It's and the striping on the jersey is absolutely gorgeous.
And it makes
5
its
out of 5.
debut against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
November 15th. That's coming up. It's a month away.
Who's next?
Next up, we got the Nashville Predators.
Nashville Predators, and this is a really interesting one because it's got a big, scary predator on the front of it. This uniform will feature the Predators' gold from head to toe, including the helmet, pant, and socks, complemented by navy and silver accents. The jersey brings back the fanged Pred head crest from the team's 2001 original third jersey. Remember, the first one was just the profile of the head, but the third jersey had the head looking at you, almost like the Ottawa Senators senator as well. So, what do we think of the Preds jersey?
The Preds are in a very difficult spot, maybe the most difficult spot of all the teams when it comes to reverse retro jerseys, because A, they have a really good jersey now, and B, all their old jerseys suck.
Yeah.
All of them. They started with a mad jersey and it got progressively worse for about a decade. So I'm not really into the logo, but they're making up for it with the equipment and they're embracing, no, we're yellow now. We've made a decision that we're yellow
We're not
now.
mustard.
We're not mustard. We're not navy. We're not gray. We're yellow now. So I'll give them a 3 out of 5.
I'm giving this a 3.5. I actually really like the logo. I think it's cool. I think Steve's right. Their jerseys were butt ugly for a long, long time.
Really long
They
time.
finally figured it out around the time they went to the Stanley Cup final. I've loved their jerseys ever since, and I think this is another one. It's spectacular. Well done, 3.5.
They made Peter Forsberg wear a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, they sure did.
I'm going to give it a 2 because I didn't like this jersey when it was out, and it's just, I don't like it again. It's an ugly jersey. They didn't make good, you said it perfectly. They didn't make good jerseys, and this is an ugly jersey.
If it had their original logo, would you like it more?
I'd have to see it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough.
Nah,
Okay.
It's not a good jersey.
Next up,
we got the New York Rangers.
Alrighty. Okay, this is very, very interesting.
Hold on, I might find a different picture.
I'm very excited about the New York Rangers jersey. Did I wait?
No, go ahead. Talk about it.
The Lady Liberty jersey returns to the New York Rangers' present color palette. The shoulder patches and crest tie back to the original jersey, while white and silver details create a glistening appearance around the historic New York statue. Steve Dangle, what do you think of this jersey?
I'm just waiting for Jesse to get it up on the screen. This jersey. So I go back to NHL 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I played the Rangers, I made them wear the Lady Liberty jersey. Because you could choose the jerseys of the team you were playing and everything. You're the blue shirts blue, checks out. Great logo, checks out. The fan base seems very happy about it, checks out. Tempted to give it a 5. I'll give it a 4.5.
I'm giving it a 4.5 as well. I would give it a 5 had the Rangers team with Gretzky and Messier made it past the third round and into the finals, which they did not. The Flyers beat them. But that was a very, very good hockey team. And that jersey was very, very cool at the time. It was one of the best 90s jerseys for sure. 4.5. So glad to see Lady Liberty back.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. It's a perfect jersey. The logo is one of the best vintage logos. And it looks like a jersey that you wear when you're going to win a Stanley Cup. So that's what I'm expecting from the Rangers. And that's what this jersey exemplifies.
I'm sure when they lose to the Sharks again. All right, go ahead, Jesse.
Next up, give me half a second to see who we got next. We got the Detroit Red Wings.
Detroit Red Wings. New to the Red Wings uniform, black trim accents run along the jersey, pant, socks, gloves, and helmet for a seamless look. The jersey honors Detroit's 1991 75th anniversary jersey, a Detroit wordmark inspired by the 1920 Detroit Cougars jersey. Yes, Steve.
I'm stuck between the colors. Like the bright red, black, and white is a cheat code. It looks good.
It does.
No matter what. But that old Red Wings jersey sucked. I hated it. I don't think anybody liked it. Here's what I will say. The Red Wings did their own release today with the equipment. It looks bomb. It looks really good.
Well, we're asking about the jersey.
Well, you're making this jersey to sell it, though, right? Is the problem, right? So it's not necessarily how it looks on the ice.
It's about how it looks walking down the street.
Yeah. You know what? I think you guys are going to flame me. I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
5.
I'm not going to flame you. I give it a 0. Please try next time, Detroit. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, they didn't try at all. This is same Chicago, same fucking Kane shit. Their bottom 3 worst jerseys. It's terrible.
It's crazy that Detroit and Chicago's looks basically identical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they not have a meeting on that? I hope they don't play each other in some fucking outdoor game and wear both of those jerseys. Oh, man. Can you imagine? And I say outdoor game because, of course, Chicago would get one.
They're the asshole EASHL team that just... All right, we're both wearing red. Have fun with that shit. And you're all 6'9". You
gotta try.
Yeah.
Put in a little effort.
Yeah, you didn't try.
Yeah.
You didn't try.
Buffalo
Sabres. Is everybody excited for the Buffalo Sabres? The uniform blends the style of the 96 logo with the colors of today. The body stripes and horn-shaped outline on the upper arm complement the center chest of the Bison Buffalo. Steve Dangle.
They really went for something here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be perfect if they went with a different blue, like a lighter, more royal blue than the navy. Yeah, 3. I wish I could give it 3.75. It's good.
You can't give it 3.75.
What's wrong with it?
I can't?
Yeah, you can. No, you can. Of course
well, then 3.75.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. It's just, it should, it's not a justification thing. It's I should look at it and go, that looks fucking gorgeous. And that's just not what I get from it. It's like, it's a bit too pale. Also, what's wrong with just bringing back the black, red, and silver jersey? That jersey was friggin' dope. I like that. Listen, they tried something. They brought back the logo. I like that. 3.75 isn't a bad grade. It's just not my favorite.
I love this jersey. It's a 4.5. And for the reason that Steve said, I won't give it a 5 out of 5. There's too much white on this jersey, but that buffalo head used to strike fear into my little grade 6 heart when the Leafs had to play Dominic Hasek and Mike Pekka and the Buffalo Sabres. It was hell on earth every single time. The playoffs made me cry. Yes, that's right. I cried in Game 6 when the Leafs lost and Buffalo went on to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Maxim Afinogenov, Brian Holzinger.
So this is the thing. I love this jersey. 4.5, well done. Just needed a little more color. Jesse?
I think Steve's right. They went with the wrong color scheme. I think if you're going retro, instead of just doing the old ones in the new colors, maybe you just bring back the old colors and you mess it up a little. You know, I feel like the red and the silver and the white looked better than on this jersey than these new colors. So I would have liked to see that, but I still like it. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
There you go.
Still think royal blue.
Next up.
The Ottawa Senators.
This is a good one. Okay. Ottawa Senators, I'm very curious to get your opinions on because this one had people kind of going both ways. The 2006 Centurion primary logo on the shoulder patches and the current primary logo on the center chest. The Senators jersey fuses eras to celebrate the uniform of the historic 06-07 run to the final. The original jersey, version of this jersey, was the team's third jersey in 97, which features less curved stripes and adornments. What do we think of the Ottawa Senators reverse retro?
So the Sens logo is good. This is purely a personal view. I think it perfectly is reverse retro to an era of jerseys that I hated.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because they were so good?
The NHL was allergic to straight lines.
Yes.
Like, just everything's got to be curved and weird. I'll give it a 3 point. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
This is a jersey that perfectly embodies not only the best era of Ottawa Senators hockey, but what the jersey should look like. I do like, Steve's absolutely right. The jersey came in an era when the NHL was allergic to straight lines, which is why this is so perfect. And I think it's clean. I think it looks amazing. And I think it's going to look amazing on you when you walk down the street. And that's how we're judging this. So I give it a 5 out of 5. That's a great hockey jersey.
I like this jersey better than the Ottawa Senators' current home jersey. I think it's really good. The current jersey is so plain that seeing a little bit of design around the Sens jersey gets me excited. Like, it's literally so basic, where it's stripes across the sides and the bottom, that seeing the curves and the little, I don't know what to call it, but the halfway patch on the sleeves, it looks really good. So 4.5 out of 5.
All right. Next up,
the Sharks.
Oh, I love the Sharks. The typography and colors of the 1974 California Golden Seals, the Bay Area's first NHL team, merge with the new Sharks woodmark. Steven.
Give me one with Bobby Bond on the back. I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
Okay.
It's really strong.
See, to me, perfect. Reverse retro, exactly what you're going for. It is a 5 out of 5. Easy one. Jesse.
Yeah, truly feels vintage here. I wish they had gone with the original Golden Seals one. They have more of a football stripe across the actual shoulders.
Yeah.
I wish they would have went all the way and done that, because that's truly ugly 90s garbage.
You could cut the sleeves off and make it a basketball jersey. No.
Yeah, it was awful, but love it. 5 out of 5. Go Sharks.
I mean, go Sharks.
Dallas Stars.
All right, the Dallas Stars, and this is a good one because it harkens back to the same era as Buffalo, who they played in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Stars modernized their team's inaugural season uniform with its current color palette. The Stars' word and logo blend into one another on the shoulder patches. Includes obviously the images of the state of Texas, and the D making the location of Dallas on the Stars. So what do we think of the Stars jersey?
This jersey, Adam talked about the Buffalo Sabres jersey, bringing him back to grade 6 and striking fear into your heart. This Dallas Stars jersey did not allow me to score a goal for at least 45 minutes and personally cross-check me in the teeth. It brings me right back to the best era of Dallas Stars hockey, and they nailed it. I'm going to go, that should maybe be their primary logo.
I was just going to say, so that's going to be my thing.
It's really good.
Go ahead.
4.5 out of 5.
The Dallas Stars have successfully turned one of the NHL's worst jersey, which is what they have.
Disagree.
They have the NHL's worst jersey currently. They now have the NHL's best reverse retro. It's an amazing comeback. Good for them. 5 out of 5. I can smell Marty Turco's pads from here. Great jersey. This should be their everyday jersey.
No, 2 out of 5. They didn't do the fucking jersey.
No, it's supposed to be updated.
No, the jersey, you could update it, but the jersey I like that Marty Turco wore had the star outline that cut out the rest of the jersey.
But that's the later Stars jersey. Look at the 96.
This one.
It is the later one.
This is the one I wanted.
No,
that's
wrong.
the bad one.
You're wrong.
This is the one where they have the star cut out along the bottom of the jersey, along with this logo. That's the best jersey. Do this one.
Sniff farts.
They have a better vintage jersey. Why would you go with this one?
You should probably sniff farts.
Do the better one.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
Go ahead,
2 out of 5. Vegas.
Vintage
okay. Vegas.
So there are two for this, because Vegas's jersey is glow in the dark. The Golden Knights created a jersey whose design imagines what a Golden Knights third jersey would have looked like in 1995. It features Vegas diagonal woodmark and glitzy font, inspired by a vintage hotel signage on the Las Vegas Strip. What do we think?
I believe it's also inspired by the Vegas IHL team that Cujo played for.
Okay.
It's weird. really stands out as a jersey that it doesn't match any of the others because I feel like it's going for an era that none of the others went for. I know I'm being a hypocrite because I said I hated the diagonal letters, but I really
Good
like
font.
this jersey.
Good font.
Yeah.
And I like that they have the full equipment too. 4 out of 5.
Okay, I'm going to give this jersey a 2 out of 5.
Wow.
I think the only thing going for it is actually the Vegas step up, the stripe numbers or whatever it is. I like the font. It's boring. There's nothing inspiring about this. I look at this and it's like a piece of art. Am I moved or am I not moved? I am not moved. I feel like it's something that you would have created in NHL 2012 when you first had the jersey creator for the first time.
They look like
boring.
the Whitby Dunlops.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jesse.
To me, it looks like there's a stadium, an arena full of people smoking cigarettes in Vegas in 1984, watching their hockey team play. Like, this feels so vintage to me, and it's not even real. Like, I think they did a fantastic job with the lettering to make it actually feel like old school Vegas, where it was dirty and grimy.
Okay.
Are you
enjoying your steak?
Exactly.
When'd you get it?
That's what it feels like to
I've
me.
been here since the 60s, Toots.
Awesome. Like, hell yeah, Vegas. You did a great
I
job.
met Elvis in person.
Also, the glow in the dark aspect, like, that's so cool.
Well, they're going to use it so much.
They are. Like, knowing how Vegas puts on presentations,
you're right.
They're going to turn off the lights pre-game, and it's going to glow, and it's going to look amazing in T-Mobile Arena. 5 out of 5 for me from Vegas. Good job.
There you go. Okay, next up.
Minnesota Wild.
Minnesota Wild.
The North Stars.
That's right. Let me have a look here. I'm just looking for it on the NHL website. The 78 North Stars jersey colors meet the modern Wild crest in Minnesota's New Jersey with the star and the trees of the crest featuring raised dimensional treatments. What do we think of the Minnesota Wild? I almost called them the North Stars.
They another team who hasn't been around for very long and has a history of shitty jerseys. The Minnesota Wild did a very smart thing. They essentially just took their jersey and gave it the old North Stars colors. I like it. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
People forget how good the North Stars were at the beginning of the 90s and how it was such a shame that they ended up moving to Dallas in the first place.
They went to the Cup final.
They went to the Cup final, lost to Mario and Jaromir, obviously. But they had incredible players throughout the 80s. Neil Broughton, Dino Ciccarelli. That's what I feel when I look at this. And I give this a 4 out of 5. It's a great jersey.
I'm giving this a 1 out of 5.
Whoa!
Because the Minnesota North Stars had amazing jerseys. The best part of their jersey was the N with the little star. It was the logo. I love the logo. I love this North Stars jersey, and I think they should have just gone all the way out and just put the damn old logo on it.
No, they went for something.
They took the best part of the jersey and they removed it, and that was the little N with the star.
Who's next?
Mike Modano is very upset right now. Next up, we have.
I think it's the last one.
We're done.
Oh, are we done?
Yeah, Wild.
I was like, Wild.
I'm
what's
trying to hit
after?
next, and nothing's happening.
So listen, we'll wrap it up there because that took a little longer than I thought it would.
Yeah.
But hey, there's your reverse retro ratings, and I hope you get upset about them and hatefully tweet us all weekend long. We love you.
Also,
I mean, it's not even the thing we were most wrong about.
If we hate your team's jersey, we also hate your team.
That's right, and you. I'm kidding. I love
and
you.
What's your most cherished childhood memory? Stupid.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.